home in Atlanta, and this final regional final, the 7-seeded Xavier Musketeers against the top-seeded Blue Devils of Duke. We began with 65 teams in this mosaic we called the NCAA tournament 12 days ago. Now we place the final piece of glass into the Final Four. Duke or Xavier will advance to take on UConn, Georgia Tech, and Oklahoma State are already there. Let's check the starting lineups brought to you by Pontiac. On the left for Xavier, Miles, Dolman, Cage. The two seniors in the backcourt, Chalmers and Sato. On the right for Duke, Deng, Williams, Chris Duhon, bruised back and all. J.J. Redick and Daniel Ewing. Mike Krzyzewski in his 24th season as the head coach at Duke University. He is 9-1 in regional finals. And Thad Matta, 36 years of age, has the Musketeers into a regional final for the first time in the history of the program. The officiating crew, Mike Kitts, Olandis Poole, Patrick Driscoll. With Bill Raftery, I'm Vern Lundquist. We welcome you to Georgia. And Xavier has it.
And Vern Lundquist, Duke goes.
Into the hands of Lionel Chalmers, who lit up the first two teams in the NCAA tournament. There's Romain Sato, first shot. Chris Duhon, who had 10 rebounds the other night, a career high, gets the first.
Anything to win, and Duhon was on Sato. Interesting matchup. See if he's offensive-minded. He's been passing and rebounding.
Luol Deng in the low post. That one misfires. Deng tries to chase it down on the floor. And here's Dolman, the freshman, 6'9" freshman from Union, Kentucky. Short. Rebound, J.J. Redick for Duke.
How about that confidence with the left hand by the rookie?
Now Duhon, who injured his ribs in the lower back on his right side in the ACC championship game against Duke. A courageous performance the other night, 37 minutes.
Nice job breaking down by Sato. They're going to have to double, or Williams is going to have a big day. And they can't afford Miles to have foul problems. If you're going to rake, stay there.
Anthony Miles, one of the three seniors in the starting lineup for Xavier, commits the first foul. The 6'9" from 245-pounder from Chicago.
Very important for Xavier to be sound on the offensive end. I think they're going to have to use the dribble drive. Lionel Chalmers is very good getting into the thick of things and kicking and finding people.
Sheldon Williams, the sophomore from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Over the course of the year, a 69% free throw shooter, has one more.
Straight up full court pressure. They're going to really take the game to them. Duke with a zone trap.
Here's Dolman, one of two freshmen in the starting lineup. Here's the other, Justin Cage. And back to the senior Romain Sato.
And I like their idea that they were going to attack if it was there. Instead, settle.
Chalmers tries to split the two defenders, and Deng, I believe, is going to get called for the foul. Well, Duke has advanced by defeating Alabama State, Seton Hall, and then the other night they extended their lead in the second half and won going away by 10 over the 5th seed Illinois, 72-62.
Now they're going to run that high pick and roll, so with the first early foul for Deng, that could become a problem. They like to double the dribbler.
Daniel Ewing has been assigned the defensive responsibilities for Chalmers. A quick dribble, jump stop, back outside. Dolman, he puts it on the floor, takes the jumper, no, and a rebound. Sheldon Williams for Duke.
Nice job by Deng defensively.
Duhon, who only scored from the free throw line the other night. J.J. Redick, the pump fake, misses his first.
Well, you got to close out under control. Don't give him those open looks.
Nice. Chalmers taken away. It's on the floor. Timeout called, Duke. 18:07 to go, first half. 1-0.
Very nice.
Like all light beers, it's low in carbs. Unlike any other light beer, it's got the great taste of Bud Light. What we have here is a failure to compromise. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
It's a beautiful morning.
I don't want to go surfing.
and I'm not looking to sail around the world. All I want is to get out here early and surprise a few clams.
Ask your doctor today about Vioxx, a prescription medicine from Merck, and find out what Vioxx can do for you.
My doctor prescribed Vioxx, and I stayed with it.
Vioxx.
This is how it should be. No more traffic jams, no more slow people. Just real power and the freedom to let it loose. The new Pontiac GTO, GXP, and Grand Prix Comp G. 2 V8s and the supercharged V6 that acts like one. That's fuel for the soul.
Right now, Elizabeth on my buddy list is having a real party. She picked the 15th over the number 2 seed because she liked the mascot. Me? I'm not having a party right now. Oh.
Now you can get AOL Instant Messenger right on your Singular phone. Take your buddy list with you anywhere and get unlimited instant messaging for $2.99 and a great deal on I Am Ready Nokia phones.
I call it the how do you like your furry mascot now plan.
AOL Instant Messenger, another reason Singular fits you best.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Singular Wireless, Audi, and by Bud Light.
1-0 Duke has an early lead with the free throw by Williams. They are concerned, as I think all Duke fans are, with the well-being of Chris Duhon, Bill.
Well, when you're a player and a leader, you have to play in pain. Occasionally we play in pain, but this is a young guy that does anything to help his team. I think he's put the rap a little bit lower. It was more visible the other night. I think that's enabled him to shoot the basketball. He's done everything else, but look on the offensive end.
He is the only senior in the starting 5 for Duke. And here's Ewing. How about that? Off the glass. They still haven't hit. Now Romain Sato, the senior from the Central African Republic. And Justin Cage.
They've got Dolman inside. Now he pops out. Moving Deng in and out. I think Miles deserves a touch for this team. They got to punish Williams a little. Make him guard.
Get any sense of nerves by either team in the first 2.5 minutes?
I think they're playing hard, but this is the end that does show. Maybe you just pull the string a little bit. Not as confident with the stroke.
Still haven't had a field goal, and we played 2.5 minutes. Now Chris Duhon, he's guarded by Chalmers. That's senior on senior. Back it comes to Ewing.
And they're trying to jam down when Williams is in the box area. That's how Deng got the open look.
Deng, who can hit that long-range basket, misses that one. Here's Dolman at the other end. Miles measures it, decides to pass, gets inside where the trees are. That's off the glass. No, still no field goal.
Nice hustle by Reddick to run it down. A little bit of a forced shot that time by Xavier. Reddick's got to start moving to use those post screens.
0 for 9 from the field by both teams so far. Here's Deng. Off the glass. Rebound Anthony Miles.
And solid balance by Duke.
Chalmers. Little runner. Still not there. Tipped. Sheldon Williams.
And really not good judgment by Chalmers. He should have dribbled all the way out. Too many big guys looming.
Now a sense of urgency now from the Duke partisans who stand. We are awash in a sea of blue today, as opposed to the orange that filled half of the Georgia Dome here on Friday night. Back to Duhon. No field goals, and we played almost 4 minutes. Duhon up and under. There's the first basket.
Different guy right now. Nice hesitation with the dribble. In the blow by. Right to the rim. Froze the defense with the bounce.
He tried one field goal Friday night, and that was a desperation 3 as the shot clock wound down. And we're convinced that in part the lack of offensive effort there, or the short point production, is because of the injury. Here's Miles for 2.
Drifting for distance. Well, he didn't get the touches on the box with Williams. Might as well load up deep.
Duhon, there's the switch. Chalmers gets back. Deng in the corner. Ewing got it.
That's excellent around the horn basketball. They made him pay for the rotation, doubling the ball. They covered nicely in the paint area, but not on the perimeter.
Daniel Ewing, season of 41% from long range. and he puts Duke up 6-2. Now Chalmers, that's for 3.
A little nylon, but a little guy. Well, that's his game. Now he can use the bounce to unload on the defense.
And here's a distinct difference for Chalmers. He missed his first 5 shots against the Longhorns. He's been torrid in the tournament against Louisville and Mississippi State. Loose ball, hell ball, possession arrow, Duke. Third meeting ever between these two. Duke leads by 1.
Welcome to center.
It's a philosophy we've embraced from the start. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated yourself. No hassle, no haggle.
Here you go. Congratulations.
Saturn. People first.
When the stakes are high, the great ones answer the call. Like a November wind, you cut through the unforgiving wasteland of company data and emerged with numbers that were once untouchable. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's showtime.
Come back soon?
As soon as I can.
I'll use my miles card. I'll use my miles card. I'm back.
With most miles programs, it takes a long time to earn a free flight.
All these years. And you never got a Capital One card?
Introducing No Hassle Rewards from Capital One. Free flights start at 9,000 miles with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
Don't ask.
Oh, hey, Stu. New tie?
No,
Hey, Stu, waxed your back?
not lately.
Hey, Stu. Did you take care of that rash?
Nope.
Whoa! You going commando?
No.
Did you see your...
No. I saw my bartender. He told me to try this.
If you want to have it all, great taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs of Bud Light, talk to your bartender. Great taste, less filling, Miller Lite. Good call.
What if you believed you committed murder, then discovered you could be innocent?
What did you see that night?
Something I wish I hadn't.
TV's most watched new drama, Cold Case, CBS Tonight.
Back in Atlanta, let's join Solomon Wilcots.
Well, guys, according to Chris Duhon, those tender ribs of his kept him from getting a good night's sleep last night. He said when he woke up this morning, though, that the pain level had decreased to a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, that's an improvement from yesterday where the pain level was very high. It was about at an 8. Now, he said that the pain really doesn't affect his shooting or his dribbling. It mostly affects his sudden movement, really affects his agility and quickness more than anything, Vern.
All right, Solomon, thank you. Sean Dockery has come on the floor now, along with Shavlik Randolph during the timeout. So Randolph, number 42, and Dockery, who has the ball in his hands right now.
And Vern, this is a little 2-3 combination, and watch out for Reddick.
There's Duhon launching one. That is where I think it hurts the most.
Yeah, you can't check a guy. You just check an area, and they get a giveaway underneath the basket. Chalmers does a wonderful job for his size to rebound. Over 3 a game, but a factor. Solid performance the other night, getting 7 rebounds.
First foul of the game on Shavlik Randolph, the 6'10 sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Now, everybody said, how do you beat Duke? I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to have to feel them out, but I think you've got to use the dribble. They take away your entry pass. I think you've got to lift your people, and this is not going to help you here. Don't turn it over. You can't get your D set properly. Look at how deep that is. My goodness.
Long rebound and over the back on Luol Deng as Cage was there to go for the rebound, and that's 2 fouls on the freshman from Sudan. Make sure you vote for your starting guards in the Pontiac All-Time Tournament team. You can cast your ballot now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac.
You know, Reddick got that great look. Mike not happy with that foul call on Deng, but you give him an opportunity, Reddick, he will make you pay. He'll burn you. And so if you're in the zone, you better tag him deep.
Now Reddick picks up Diedrich Finn, who is off the bench, the 6th man. He can electrify things. He He was a starter for 49 consecutive games, and one of the turning points in the season was a decision to put him in as the sixth man after 19 starts this year and put the freshman Justin Cage on the floor. They've won 16 of 17 since they did that.
And this is a good job going stronger, though, has to be the case. That is, unfortunately, you got to make this call. Force the turnover, going the other way. I believe it was Sato right down in there.
It is Sato, his first.
But Vern, getting back to Duke, I think you've got to lift your inside people because they deny so well, so you can get some back cuts. And I think you have to dribble entry on a wing. It's very difficult to make that initial pass.
Sean Dockery, he's guarded by Finn.
Ooh, I think this might be Williams in the box area. He was trying to hold off. That's one of their pet plays. Reddick runs the baseline, use the post bumps, and he gets rid of his guy beautifully. Unfortunately, Williams tagged.
Take a look at it, Bill.
Well, the reason he is so good is he reminds me a little bit of Bill Bradley. His ability to get free. John Havlicek comes to mind as well. Playing without the basketball, and unfortunately, the pick inside.
There's the screen from Miles. Justin Cage. Little weave, gives it to Diedrich Finn. Dockery goes for the steal. Finn, jump stop, runner, got it.
He is tough. Both of them can get in the lane and make the runners. They also have distance, and they can bounce.
And the first lead for Xavier. They are up 7-6. Playing in their first Elite Eight ever. 1990, they got to the regional semifinals. They lost to Texas in Dallas. And hoping, obviously, for their first spot ever in the Final Four.
The six-man of defense is Stad Mata, by the way, over there. He is moving arms and legs, reminiscent of Luke out of second St. John's. Energized.
Shatlick Randolph behind the back dribble. Whoa! Show me some stuff at 6'10". The follow, no. Chase down, out of bounds.
Great attack of the rim by Randolph.
Xavier lost 3 in a row to go 2-5 in Atlantic 10. Since that point, the key win, they say, all of them, was a 2-point victory over Cincinnati. They've gone 16-1. The one loss was to Duquesne. The most significant win until they got into this tournament was their 20-point victory over then undefeated St. Joseph's in the Atlantic 10.
Good help by Randolph in recovery, and I think this guy being vocal helped them too. Chalmers got the team together.
Cage in the lane, blocked by Williams, picked up by Chalmers off the glass. Beautiful touch by Lionel Chalmers.
He is a gamer, and that sets up their D and their crowd.
A 7-0 run. On the baseline, taken away, Diedrich Finn. Duhan is back. And Finn's going to go to the half court. No, he's not. He's going to give a runner. And there's Chalmers again.
Great patience, Vern, by Finn. And Mike Krzyzewski cajoling his team to get back and identify. Nice little blow by and great patience on the offensive end.
Lionel Chalmers, when he gets in the streak, is torrid. Had 11 of 13 against Mississippi State. Here's the baseline drive. Dockery. Xavier ball. Thad Mott is 36. He'll be 72 when this is over.
Hey, Herman. What's that?
It's a server.
A server?
An on-demand IBM e-server. Can monitor itself, manage itself, optimize itself, protect itself, practically heal itself.
How'd it get here?
Maybe it ordered itself.
Self-optimizing IBM eServer X Series with Intel Xeon processors.
Introducing Subway Fresh Salads. Made fresh in front of you, piled high with your favorite toppings. Try our Atkins-friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach salad. Pure baby spinach, grilled chicken, and Atkins sweet as honey mustard dressing. Or our Atkins-friendly classic club salad. Tasty meats and cheeses covered in creamy ranch dressing. Or our zesty Mediterranean chicken salad, sprinkled with crumbled feta cheese. Every bite more delicious than the last. Now this is how you eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
The fact is, all light beers are low in carbs.
So good, don't it?
Choose on taste. It's all here.
You've seen it on TV.
One spray and Doggy Doo disappears. Too good to be true?
Now, meet the man who invented it.
That's right!
And the friend who resented it.
What are the odds something like that would work?
Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Envy. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, April 30th.
The fast C230 sports sedan with a supercharged compressor engine. To catch one, you gotta be in one. Visit your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
85 years of experience. Booms. Busts. Downpours. Fiscal firestorms. Falling rates. Rising tides. And we end up with 50 million customers and over $600 billion in assets. We can weather anything and help make sure you do too. Insurance, loans, retirement. AIG. We know money.
Xavier Lundquist, good judgment has to prevail no matter what profession you're in. The ability to recognize no bigs at the rim. Finn stops, gives it to his partner Chalmers. The two bounce, pull up Jay. A little nylon by the little guy. That is solid judgment and understanding of numbers.
Diedrich Finn started for the first 19 games this year. Sophomore from Indiana, Newburgh. And he puts it in the hands of Lionel Chalmers, a senior out of Albany, New York. Chalmers. Oh, beautiful pass. Great. And how about the landlord?
Unbelievable. He's collected a little rent that trip.
Sheldon Williams before the first of the year that time. And the bounce goes for Ewing.
Fortuitous, but he is a good open shooter. That's what makes Duke very tough. The bigs run to the rim, and the wing people can knock down deep threes.
That ends a 9-0 run by Xavier. Williams goes for the steal. There's Brandon Cole, who's in during the timeout. That one's saved on the sideline. Nope, nope. On the line.
The ability to get into the lane, so important. A great look, as you said, but look, off the ball by Williams. Outstanding recovery, prevented the easy one. And the ability to knock down deep ones really stretches your defense. And Duke does that to people.
Now here's Chalmers. Quick foul called on Ewing. Number 5, his first. Near the midway point. Xavier, no number 7 seed has ever advanced to the final. I beg your pardon, Virginia. I was trying to say only one 7 seed has done that. And that was Virginia in 1984, and they advanced out of Atlanta. Inbound pass, a little sloppy. Duhon kicks it over on the right side. That's for 3, and it's not good. But the tip is.
And that's a great example of hustle. You big guys, get down that floor. And the ability to shoot it soft enough to be rebounded. That's the key, Vern. Those threes, if you don't have a good touch, start fast breaks the other way.
Duke has tied it up nearing the midway point of the first half. Chalmers. And off of Dolman's foot.
Dolman has not been a factor. I think they've got to get him to screen with Randolph and pop. He's very good at that.
Chalmers, there's the double team. Get it in the hands of Romain Sato. Jumper, no. And Redick has it for Duke. A chance to reclaim the lead.
I would look for something deep now with Williams. The screen down series and the lock.
Redick pops out over Sato short. J.J. Redick misses again. Tonight on 60 Minutes, he's the smallest guy on the soccer field, but he's the one with the biggest paycheck, and he's only 14 years old. Meet him on 60 Minutes tonight.
And Vern, that's that play where Redick really didn't get square, which he does beautifully. And if he doesn't have the jumper, he had Williams locked in on the block.
Redick is 0 for 3, so also is Romain Sato. There's Dolman, and there comes Randolph to help.
Nice job.
Wow, he got the wingspan, and the tip goes Romain Sato.
Not a good play. Throwing it under your basket. Everything was excellent defensively. Great hustle. A lot of people attacking the ball.
Sato.
Miles got to be careful, Vern. Excuse me.
Baseline, Williams. Ravlick, offensive board, and a foul is called. I think they're going to get Chalmers.
Randolph really being more athletic. How about this play by Randolph? the other end, and this is just a mistake on his part, throwing it right under the rim, gives an easy deuce. Those are assists you don't like to gather during the course of your career.
Shavlik Randolph, as a junior in high school, he began to notice a problem with his foot. Ultimately, it took 2 years. They figured out it was a problem with his hip, and he had surgery on that hip last May, 10 weeks on crutches this summer. Mike Krzyzewski says in the last 2.5 weeks, he has blossomed.
And of course, Mike can relate with his hip surgery. Just takes a while to get coordinated. They look for a great offseason by him and a sensational year next year.
That one touched last by Sato, knocked out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock. Luol Deng is going to come back in now, and he will replace Shavlik Randolph.
Now, this is a case of trusting the player, and also you are the coach, Mike Krzyzewski. You're going to let the referees know. It better be a good foul.
Deng back on the floor playing with 2 fouls.
Nice hustle. Oh, my goodness. Finn all over. Nice anticipation. Rotating down, trying to help his partner out.
Diedrich Finn out of bounds. It'll be Duke to throw it in.
Most dangerous guy is the guy that inbounded. Here comes Reddick.
There's Duhan up and under. Not there. Rebound Miles. Xavier will run. No, they won't. Now Chalmers, pull-up jumper, 17, in and out.
What a screen by Miles. Got him right to the open look.
Deng with a rebound for Duke, 8:15 to go. And a foul.
I think it might be Sato. Let's take a look here as they bang one another. You've got to be prepared for anything. You said there was no fast break, and you're right, but you can make it because your trail guy, instead of just taking up space, sets up a great screen, Miles, and he is a couple of quarters to get around.
Now Thad Matta's going to go to his bench. Justin Cage, a freshman, replaces Dolman, the freshman. Ball tipped, battle for it. Romain Sato has it.
Now they need Sato to get untracked on the offensive end.
Had 27 the other night in the win over Texas.
It's Duhan, though. We're talking about offering it up and being the team leader. Chris Duhan will play any size out there.
Justin Cage, number 3. Finn, here's Lionel Chalmers. Duhan switches on him. Whoa, way outside.
I don't think they needed that. You had Deng on Miles. Why not use him? He's got the 2. He'll back off a little bit.
And it remains 13-11, 7:30 to go. First half of play. Entry pass, Williams.
Great help, but a little bit late from the top, I believe, by Cage. And that's what they need. Powered into Williams. I don't think, unless they double, they can contain him.
Williams has 5. And we're tied at 13. Little crossover from Chalmers, 5th-year senior.
If he got paid by the bounce, he'd be very wealthy. My goodness, he loves to dribble it.
Well, you think sometimes he dribbles it too much.
Well, we had him over 21 in the Louisville game. That's enough. You get a violation, but they were playing solid, getting the rim, finding people, doing a solid job against Duke.
Fully independent rear suspension, 5.7-liter V8, 346 limited slip, for impressive balance, great agility, crisp handling. Rear wheel drive is back. The 350 horsepower Pontiac GTO. Fuel for the soul.
Which friends will you take to this year's NCAA Men's Final Four? Look for specially marked packages of Planters. You can win 4 tickets to Mr. Peanut's luxury suite. Planters. Put out the good stuff.
What can a drawbridge teach us about brokerage firms? When everything comes together, it can be easier to reach your destination. Wachovia Securities welcomes Prudential Securities and its clients. Talk to us. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Hey, what's up, Thirst? Yo, Thirst, what's up with the extra Sprite?
Brother, you can never be too far away from the crisp, thirst-quenching lemon lime goodness of Sprite. Now let's say some big old Sasquatch sits here on my left taking up the armrest and whatnot. I'ma be over here on my right with this Sprite.
So what about that one?
Now say some young honey dip sits over here on my left. I'ma spend my time over here with her, getting my drink on. Show her my motto. Ooh, ooh. Now this is gonna be interesting. Who's thirsty?
When a 14-year-old with $1 million personality signs to play soccer for $500,000 a year, that's a 60-minute story tonight.
Under 7 minutes remaining, neither team hitting the ball well. 1 of 4 from three-point range for Xavier, 2 of 9 for Duke.
Well, this guy's funny-looking hat.
He's having a devil of a time.
Well, the guy that's having a devil of a time is Williams. Sheldon Williams has been terrific. 5 points, 7 rebounds, and blocking shots. He with Randolph are very tough to get layups on. They're going to have to create passing lanes, the little guys in particular, as they get to the rim.
Chalmers 3 of 7, and there's 4 of 8.
They're not sure if it's 2 or 3. They're going to look at the monitor.
And Mike Kitts wants to see if it's 2 or 3, so they're going to hustle over to the officials table and take a look.
Boy, that's a tough act when you got Chalmers turning the corner on you and then able to knock down deep shots. And I'd guess no from there. And that they probably will opt for a better angle like this one. Yeah, I think both of them are on there.
Yep.
The puppies towing the line.
Well, that was quick and easy. Mike Kitts says it's 2 instead of 3, and Thad Matta says, you sure about that?
It's good to see Mike Kitts to get one right.
Oh, you're going to hear about that.
I'm sorry to all the kids.
Oh, you are going to hear about that. Xavier by 2. They've never been this deep in the tournament. Here's Luol Deng, and he's fouled. Is going to go to the free throw line. Well, we mentioned that only 1 7 seed has ever gotten to the Final Four. Take you back to 1984 here in Atlanta. Closing minutes. Virginia's captain, Kent Nedlin, steals the ball and scores. That gave Virginia the lead. The last chance for the Hoosiers. Stu Robinson's shot doesn't go. Virginia wins it 50-48. The only 7 seed to ever advance to the Final Four, and that, as Deng hits the free throw, was right after Virginia, or rather Indiana, had knocked off North Carolina, the #1 seed.
And Terry Holland in that video too. His great career as the coach there at Virginia.
And obviously, since in that regional final in 1984, Virginia defeated Indiana, who had knocked off a #1 seed. If Xavier does this today and wins this game, they will become the first team to ever defeat a 1, 2, and 3 seed to get to the Final Four.
And they're a confident team and a hot team right now.
In the corner. Rebound, J.J. Redick. Romain Sato continues a little cold.
And Redick puts the pressure with the run. Sato on him has done a nice job early here.
Chalmers out on Duhan. Luol Deng muscled up by Cage.
That's pretty tough. That is pretty good. In traffic, taking hits, protecting the apple, and then the runner. Think he learned that in England? Or
I
Egypt?
think he did. Well, he spent, born in the Sudan, Luol Deng, and the family moved to Alexandria, Egypt when he was 4. There's a spin move and miles for 2 for Xavier. Luol Deng's father, Aldo, was a minister of transportation in that troubled country, Sudan, and they ultimately moved the family to London. Then when he was 14, Luol and his sister Eric came to the Blair Academy in New Jersey, where he spent 4 years and was recruited heavily by Mike Krzyzewski.
And you know, he's only seen his sister, who I believe is up at Delaware. She started at Maryland. And how tough it is for any kid. You get homesick away at college. He hasn't seen his parents or his siblings other than Eric.
And his mother and dad have never seen him play basketball.
Well, they will get a kick out of it, as we do.
Tonight on CBS, a woman who thought she committed murder may be innocent after all. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new drama, Cold Case, tonight at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Ball on the floor. After the miss, Chris Duhon. Chris Duhon's cousin is Jarrett Jack. He had a pretty good day today.
I'll say.
27 points as Jarrett Jack led Georgia Tech into the Final Four, defeating Kansas in overtime earlier on CBS.
And Deng's got to be careful. He's backing in on Cage.
Rebound story, Duke 18-13. That's Sheldon Williams. And there's Deng missing from long range.
Well, he's been more offensive-minded since he's come back in.
Dietrich Finn, number 12. There's Deng. Pulled up unexpectedly. Miles gets it. Up and under. Nice play.
Well, he uses that body beautifully. Wards off, little hesitation, the pump, and then the finish.
Anthony Miles, one of 3 starting seniors for Xavier. In his second year, he spent some time at Olney College, O-L-N-E-Y, in Illinois. There's a jumper air ball. Romain Sato, here comes Xavier. They're up by 1.
And they've been doing it with the dribble and then finding.
Chalmers.
Well, Miles wants it brought around to him. Little guys never listen.
Well, over on the Xavier bench, they hold up the play they want, and they signal it in with cards. So this is the Stacks curl post, by the way.
Okay.
I knew that.
A nice kick.
In the corner, Finn, no. Randolph, that's touched last by Shavlik Randolph. It will be Xavier ball.
But Miles got away with a little Tavern League push, but right here, the belly rub, the bump, the ability to finish strong.
Give me the money. Give me.
Sorry, man. Oh, I feel terrible.
Oh, no, it's on me, sir.
I bet you like an autograph, huh?
Whatever.
Yeah, I can't believe it's me either.
Which friends will you take to this year's NCAA Men's Final Four? Look for specially marked packages of Planters. You can win 4 tickets to Mr. Peanut's luxury suite. Planters. Put out the good stuff.
Come back soon?
As soon as I can.
I'll use my Miles card. I'll use my Miles card. I'm back.
With most Miles programs, it takes a long time to earn a free flight.
All these years.
Oh!
And you never got a Capital One card?
Introducing No Hassle Rewards from Capital One. Free flights start at 9,000 miles with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
Don't ask.
Here we go.
The Late Show with David Letterman.
Oh, man.
Risking it all to entertain America.
Duke trails by 1, 19-18. Mike Krzyzewski coaching in a regional final for the 11th time, 9-1. The only loss by 2 points in 1998 to an Kentucky team under Tubby Smith that went on to win the NCAA.
The genius of one guy, Tom Butters.
Yeah.
Unknown up at Army other than the local area there. I unfortunately had to coach against him, but Tom Butters hired him, stuck with him, and the rest has just been absolutely incredible on and off the basketball floor.
Mike Krzyzewski graduated from West Point, was a captain in the Army, and then got the job there. Was at West Point for 5 years. And there's a foul called, I believe, on Nick Horvath, the senior, who is on the floor. Interesting young man. He's got a double major, does Nick Horvath, in physics and English. And he's a short story writer. Fascinating fella. Nice feature on the road to the Final Four yesterday by the guys back in New York on Nick Horvath. Role player, as most of these guys are.
And fearless going against the physics major was Finn. I mean, unafraid.
Well, they call him that, Fearless Finn. or they will from now on.
The little guy's able to finish around the rim or draw fouls. It's an incredible weapon for your offense, and that's what makes Xavier so tough to defend against.
Well, we talked about that 3-game losing streak in late January by this Xavier team. They lost at George Washington. They lost first to St. Joseph's. Then they lost to George Washington. Then they lost to Andarona Dayton. But since that time, they've won 16 of 17. Including, I might add, 4 of 4 in the Atlantic 10 tournament, 4 games in 4 days to win that championship.
Coming together, though, Vern, we mentioned Chalmers, and then that one evening at 3 in the morning, they returned from a trip, and Thad Matta got after them himself.
Yeah, Chalmers, as Duke goes to the line and Williams shoots 1-1. Lionel Chalmers, after the loss at George Washington, called his team out. And then Thad Matta informed us that when the team got back to Cincinnati, he called a team meeting at 3 in the morning and told them how he felt about things.
Yeah, we would have been there on time.
Xavier substitution, number 15, Justin Dolman.
Gave a little blow for Miles, which I think is smart. Give him a rest. He has played terrific. Really been a factor on both ends of the floor. 6 points, 3 rebounds.
21-20. Well, there's the IZ pop. I would have thought that was a hip-hop band.
It's like something we ordered last night.
Or from Texas, you know, it's ZZ Top. A couple of guys with beards. No, I left early.
This ability to screen out here. This is where Dolman, I think, is a factor. Because if you double, he can make the shot. A little push from the rear there, unfortunately. A tag by Daniel Ewing.
Second foul on Horvath.
That's his second. 17. Duke substitution, number 15, Sean.
Daniel Ewing is out. Sean Dockery is in. It's on Ewing, not Horvath. Ewing picks up his second. And Lionel Chalmers at the line. Thursday on a new Survivor, the All-Stars think it's time for a merge. But what they get is a bizarre twist that will shake up the game. Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network.
Xavier's got good control of the game in the sense they can run their offense. And basically it's been the ability to dribble and get some heads turned. Here's the end now. I think this is where they can be exploited, particularly inside.
Dockery, harassed by Diedrich Finn.
And Williams really loading up, and they're not finding it. Here's a little flex screen they run, a curl or a fade.
Reddick, Sato was late getting there, and J.J. Reddick with a mid-air adjustment, it goes up and off the glass with the left hand.
And that was it, all set up by his fade. He lost his defender. Then you got to close out and the ability to put it on the deck.
Well, when you think of J.J. Reddick as a pure shooter, we think of him with the pull-up jumper. But how about that adjustment?
He's pretty athletic, too. Look at him drifting out about half court, and you got to hug him, which opens up entry lanes. Look where Sato has to play him.
Now it's in the hands of Sean Dockery. Not that much of an offensive threat. Here's Horvath.
Same play on this side. Now the load up. Say goodnight.
Williams.
Say goodnight. Just a great play, and they run it in a gorgeous fashion. It's just a simple play. You run your guy, the corner in Reddick, off, and then the duck in after it. I mean, that's just a terrific play. Reddick in the far corner had come across the lane. You've got to recognize him. The center opens to help up, and down. The lock, the shape up by Williams.
That's a pretty nifty shot.
Great release, but I just love the setup.
Second foul on Cole, and Sheldon Williams makes it a three-point play. Duke regains the lead with 2 to go in the first half.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Krzyzewski rode that play frequently.
I'm looking over at the bench, and Steve Wojciechowski is in the face of Shavlik Randolph. I mean, he was emotional.
Well, you know, he's the guy, believe it or not, at his size, he's in charge of the big men. Right. He went to Pete Newell's camp. Jay Billis and others, Mark Gallery, have talked to him about post position. And his statement was, you're supposed to know everything as a coach, but he was fiery as a player, he's fiery as a coach. And the other day, we witnessed practice. Mike said, it's great to have these young guys out there. It's tough for me to get in the deny stance all the time anymore.
Well, a former National Defensive Player of the Year, Steve Wojciechowski, and he's joined over there by Chris Collins and, of course, Johnny Dawkins, who's been a longtime aide and the star of the 1986 team that went to the Final Four. There's Johnny to Mike Krzyzewski's left.
Well, at least there's two guys who'd give the ball up. I know Collins wouldn't.
Well, that's an inherited trait.
That's right, like Daddy.
Father
Like
Doug, yes.
And here goes that 2-3 matchup. This is where you got to really worry about Reddick. And there'll be a lot of pointing. Here he is in the overload side.
Dolman hurries over. They stay in the zone. Left side, turnover. That's 5.
A little inexperience at the top. Horvath maybe not as comfortable for Mike, but they're buying time, rest, and making sure no more fouls.
Now here's Xavier in their win over Texas the other night, and it was a very hardly fought ball game. The Xavier team only turned it over 7 times. And here in the first half, only 3 so far.
And look at Duhan defending shot. A nice fake by Miles and one. The little kiss by the big fella. He is alone and taking advantage.
He did that beautifully.
He just prepares when he herky-jerky with the release, Fern, which makes him so tough. As he gets in here now, he'll just hesitate as he goes up. There he gets now he knows he owns the guy, and just put it up there with a chance for 3.
Anthony Miles, 6'9" senior, Chicago. Over the course of the season, this has not been his strong point. He's a 51% free throw shooter. 27-25, 1:10 to go first half.
Dolman runs Reddick now. Across the baseline. Look how far out he is. He'll drag one defender.
Chalmers got both hands on the ball. There's Reddick.
Great look. I mean, you just can't stay honest with him when you're in the zone. You figure nobody's going to shoot it out there by the GT, the Georgia Tech line. Oh, is that incredible? In rhythm.
One of the best shooters in college ball.
Absolutely. What he does for others. Nice pressure defense causes the timeout here. That's Duke defense at its best, Fern.
Time is called with 39 seconds to go, and Duke leading by 1.
Where would we be if we always did things the way they were done before? Where would we be if everyone followed and no one led?
I'm never ever gonna get it all. I'm never ever gonna get it all.
Coming up on Singular at the half, we'll hear from Final Four bound Georgia Tech. Then Greg, Mark, and Seth start to preview the Final Four field plus Singular one-on-one with Billy Packer Trivia Challenge.
And Vern, right here, you can just see the defense. They figure nobody's going to shoot out there. And out here, we mentioned the Georgia Tech line just in the screen in this area. But look how far you have to go. A little nylon by one of the purest of all with the stroke. J.J. Reddick.
Ball in the hands now, Diedrich Finn. 16 on the shot clock. We've got 30 to play in the half.
Well, they've got to go inside, I think. Well, Dolman forces the issue here, but they had Miles with Horvath. They didn't take advantage. Chance for 1 now for Duke.
Shavlik Randolph gets the board.
They go straight up man, Xavier. Not going to leave Reddick alone.
Romain Sato out on Reddick. Sato with those 27 points against Texas the other night has been held in check offensively. And here's Reddick with a little runner.
And a little soon, too. They got a chance here, a good one. They got Dolman if they want.
Finn, pull up over Duhan. And it is good! He had a 45-footer at the half against Mississippi State to give Xavier the lead. That was in the second round game.
They're going to check the clock on this forever. That's out of his hand. You can see Dolma was at the rim. A heady move. The confidence level. Oh.
Diedrich Finn for 3 at the break.
Well, does that give you some juice going in at halftime? A little rub of the head. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Let's go to Sullivan Wilcox.
That motto, both teams struggled to score the ball early on. Was it a case of good defense or just nervous energy?
No, I think it was good defense. I hope, because, you know, to hold them to 28 points is what we have to do. We've done a good job taking care of the ball, and that's one of our emphasis, because you can't give them anything easy. And, you know, we're fouling the shooters too much. We've got to stop doing that.
Well, good shot by Finn to go in at the half. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Back to you, Vern.
All right, Solly, 30-28 Xavier, our exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship. We'll continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Wachovia Securities, Planters Nuts, Sprite, and by Pontiac.
Multitasking is great, except when you're driving. Answer the cell phone, referee the kids in the back seat, drink your coffee. We all do it. But Allstate knows if you do it a little less, you're less likely to have an accident or get a ticket. Keep a safe record and Allstate can save you up to 20%. Safe drivers cost everyone less. They should pay less. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Everyone says he loves her.
Wouldn't be the first time a man killed the woman he loved. We're gonna fight this. We're gonna prosecute your brother to the full extent of the law.
Do you honestly think I would turn against him? He's my brother. We're from the same egg.
You're gonna go down with him just as hard.
New Without a Trace, CBS Thursday. Gary Oldman, Jacqueline Bissett, Jeremy Sisto, Jesus, CBS Tonight.
It comes down to this. I gave you both the internet to stop the fighting around here. You two owe me a favor. Someday you're gonna have to repay that favor. Even if what I ask seems unpleasant. You understand?
Okay.
Sure, Dad.
Get SBC Yahoo DSL for $29.95 a month. Connect 2 or more computers with SBC Home Networking for just $50.
Now get to your local Pontiac dealer and leave your checkbook at home. Lease any new 2004 Pontiac. With nothing due at signing, no down payment, no security deposit, no first month's payment. That means qualified lessees can lease a 2004 Grand Prix GT for around $228 a month with nothing due at signing. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees extra. Call for lease details. This offer ends March 31st. See your Chicagoland Pontiac dealer today.
Heidi Fleiss had it all.
Want to hang with the best people and get paid for it.
Money.
$40,000. How's that for 2 days' work?
Fame.
So go ahead and write about me.
And lots of...
You get what you pay for.
To live like this...
You're all under arrest.
...is a crime.
They're charging you with prostitution, money laundering, and tax evasion.
Jamie Lynn Descala.
I don't hook anymore. I'm management now.
Call Me, The Rise and Fall of Heidi Fleiss. Check your local listings for the premiere, only on USA Network.
In New York, coming up on Singular at the half, we look back at the overtime thriller between Kansas and Georgia Tech that sent the Yellow Jackets to the Final Four. After this message and a word from your local station.
The ML350 comes standard with emergency sensing brake assist, electronic stability program, 8 airbags, and permanent 4-wheel drive. The extended forearm hand block, however, is optional. The M-Class starts at $38,670.
Meet Annie. She worked to stay physically fit. Turned out that was only a piece of it. There's Steve. He said, I can take it from here. Why it didn't work out, he was not quite clear. These are some of the many who finally found out when they asked their doctor what Crestor's about. So log on to Crestor.com. You'll see why. You might want to visit your doctor. Bye-bye.
Dear DirecTV, your service is great,
crystal clear picture, programming guide. It's just so great. Nothing could ever describe DirecTV better than the word great. Maybe wow, but no. Great works best. Sincerely, Chris Copensi.
Wow, great, wow.
Get over 125 channels for $29.99 a month for 6 months, plus equipment and installation for up to 3 rooms free.
What can a 50-foot swell teach us about brokerage firms? The right combination of forces can take you where you want to go. Wachovia Securities welcomes Prudential Securities and its clients. Talk to one of our financial advisors. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopilla, Barranquilla, and Padilla, Amagilla. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
After 2 separate stays at any Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, Quality, Sleep Inn, Clearing, or Mainstay Suites, you'll earn a free night with Choice Privileges. The more you stay, the more you earn. For reservations or more details, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
Quick, in the top 5 water polo players in the world. Okay, how about 1? Yeah. I didn't start playing water polo to get famous. And the same goes for being a biology major. I like working in protein chemistry. Quick, in the top 5 protein chemists in the world.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Thursday on the new CSI.
It's the most brutal beating I've ever seen.
A murder suspect will leave you wondering.
Positive for blood.
This doesn't look like a patio.
If pure evil really exists.
I touched his skin, Catherine. He felt like he was on fire.
A new CSI, CBS Thursday.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular Wireless, the wireless company that fits you best.
And welcome back to our New York studios in Singular at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis, and welcome to the Diedrich Finn Highlight Show. If you're just joining us, you just missed the first half winding down Diedrich Finn. Xavier down 1, 3-pointer, no problem at the buzzer. Xavier goes in with a 2-point lead. He just did this in a second-round game against Mississippi State. Time running down, Finn from beyond the half-court line. And it's kind of habitual for this young man.
It certainly has been. In that Mississippi State game, they would never trail again after he knocked down that 3-pointer. They've done everything they've needed to do so far. Both teams playing good defense, and Xavier controlling the pace of the game to this point.
Well, I mean, the good news for Xavier is that they're winning, but with Duke going 3 for 11 from the 3-point line, you've got to figure they'd like to be up maybe by 9 or 10 points. I'm not sure how long that stat is going to be consistent, but this is why Duke can deal with a bad shooting night. Sheldon Williams gives them a presence inside. You see the miss from Ewing for 3, but Williams is there for the offensive tip, and this is what Kansas was not able to do with Wayne Simeon. Get the big guy the ball inside. Not only can he score, but he can go to the foul line, and more importantly, Clark, he can get Xavier's big men into foul trouble, and that would be to their advantage.
It certainly would be, but Anthony Miles doing a nice job for Xavier. He's really played well during this stretch of winning games for Xavier, and here he is in the low post in the first half. Penetration by Finn. Look at him take his time, survey the situation, then go to work. That's what he needs to do. He doesn't need to put up big numbers, but he's got to be a presence in there, not only scoring the ball, but also on the glass.
All right, this game has all the makings of maybe competing with the one that preceded it today. Out of St. Louis, Kansas and Georgia Tech went to overtime. Georgia Tech won it, but it's how they won it. Give a listen.
Now Simeon, baseline jump hook, no. Lowe's pops out great. Now they got to go for 3. Yins fired! Yeah! And we're tied at 66. 8 seconds to go. Jack Lewis, he hadn't hit a shot all day to the bucket. Short, bite him, no, more, and we're heading for overtime. Jack, the kick, bite him, bang! The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets out of the ACC is heading for San Antonio.
Our Gus Johnson on the call. Georgia Tech 79-71 winners. Tech, its first Final Four since 1990, and after the game, the winners.
And we're here with Jared Jack and Paul Hewitt. First of all, Jared, what a terrific win. You guys pulled it out in overtime.
Oh, man, this is a tough, hard-fought victory by everybody on the team. 1 through 14, everybody just came out and exerted the same type of effort. And, you know, we pulled out the victory, and now we're going to the Final Four.
Somebody had to step up on this Georgia Tech basketball team. B.J. Elder hurt, Marvin Lewis struggling. You decided to take the game in your own hands.
Yeah, I knew with B.J. going down, you know, somebody had to fill that scoring void. And, you know, Marvin stepped up for us last game. And, you know, luckily I finally got my offensive rhythm back this game for this tournament and, you know, helped us move on.
We turn to Paul Hewitt, the head coach. Coach, your team heading to the Final Four for the first time since 1990 must be a terrific feeling.
It's a great feeling, you know, but guys like the young man you just talked to, Jared Jack, he came here to be one of the great point guards in Georgia Tech history. And people kept asking me all year, does he compare to Stephon? Does he compare to Mark Price? Well, now he's taking his team to the Final Four. Now I think at least he can stand next to him. He's definitely not above him yet, but he definitely can stand next to him. I'm happy for all these players.
Your top scorer, B.J. Elder, injured ankle. He really was not effective today, but just like in Friday's game, you guys band together, your bench played well, and Jared Jack also stepped up and had the game of his life.
The bench was tremendous. Clarence Small was great in the first half, and you know, I hope people don't overlook the shot that Will Bynum made at 71 all. I mean, he drilled that three-point shot, gave us a huge lift.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations indeed. It had everything last night's Oklahoma State St. Joe's game had. Meanwhile, Kansas coach Bill Self comes up shy for the third time in the last 5 years. Dwayne Ballin talked with him.
A classic game. I know you ended up on the end you didn't want to be on, but what a tremendous performance by your team.
Yeah, we did a lot of good things. You know, the biggest thing we did, we hung in there when things didn't go well. Tech controlled the game the majority of the entire 45 minutes, and then when we got a little rhythm, we got a little break, we couldn't capitalize on it. But give them credit. They made some plays, and we didn't make some plays, but our kids competed hard to the very end.
Do you have some appreciation for the season that you've just had your first year with this team?
Oh, yeah. The guys gave us a chance to coach them, and they played their butts off for the most part all year long, and certainly showed some toughness down the stretch. And I'm proud of them. And we got the majority of the guys back. To lose Jeff and Bryant, but I really feel like that we got a chance to be a lot better next year.
Valiant effort by Kansas, but this game gives us a chance to re-emphasize the importance of defense in the game.
Without question. Quickness and defense, the story of the game, and the resilience of this Georgia Tech team, all very, very impressive today.
And that quickness shows up at the foul line, a 26-13 advantage for Georgia Tech. What a coaching clinic by Paul Hewitt, taking Wayne Simeon out of the game, going to the Final Four with B.J. Elder completely limited by that ankle injury.
So half the bracket is set for San Antonio. Georgia Tech against Oklahoma State. Was I just talking about defense?
Yeah, you were talking about defense, and we'll see a lot of it when these two teams hook up. You talk about Jared Jack's career-high performance today. He got in the lane whenever he wanted to. I think he'll find more resistance trying to get to the lane against Oklahoma State.
Well, they won't have the same quickness advantage that they'll have that they had over Kansas, but what they will have is Luke Schenscher. He's the one guy that Oklahoma State does not have an answer for. He's really become a dominant big man very quietly.
All right, guys, time now for the singular one-on-one with Billy Packer Trivia Challenge. Who was the last player to have a triple-double in a Final Four game? Come on.
Come on.
Sir Matt Johnson of Michigan State. 29 points, 10 boards, 10 assists against Penn in 79. For a chance to win a trip to the Final Four, send a text message to 26222 or log on to cbssportsline.com/2NCAA. We thank you for watching Singular at the Half. Vernon Raft have the second half of Xavier and Duke in just a moment. The winner gets the last spot in the Final Four.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular Wireless, the wireless company that fits you best.
Excuse me. I'm ready for my test drive. I brought my own course.
It's Mazda's Spring Into Motion sales event. Get huge savings on a huge selection of 2004 Mazdas. Get up to $2,500 cash back or choose 0.0% APR financing for 60 months, plus a $500 bonus through Mazda American Credit Financing. See your Mazda dealer for a test drive. Mazda's Spring Into Motion sales event ends March 31st.
Night. It's when most of the world sleeps. A time to reset our clock so we can begin a new day. It's all part of the rhythm of life. But for many, this healthy cycle is disrupted because sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. While natural sleep is best, Ambien helps you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and wake rested and refreshed, not groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All people taking sleep medicines have some risk of becoming dependent on the medicine. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. In most instances, memory problems can be avoided if you take Ambien only when you're able to get 7 to 8 hours sleep before you need to be active again. Talk to your doctor about Ambien and wake rested and ready to start your day. Ambien works like a dream.
For some, recovery is a long road. For men, they reach for Revitalizing Lotion Q10 because Q10 replenishes skin to feel healthy, firm, and fit, especially when you don't. Nivea for men, more evolved skincare.
Moving in on 2 hours sleep, that's a headache. The moment of choice, Tylenol or Advil for fast headache relief. Advil liquid gels work faster, stronger, better than Tylenol on tough headaches.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Thank you, Advil. Advance to Advil relief.
There are 2 sides to me. The all-conference catcher side, that's my tough side. And the side of me studying for a career in marine mammal rescue, that's my soft side. I'm finding I really need both sides to be the whole person that I want to be.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
How did Charles Manson turn all-American kids into a cult of cold-blooded killers?
I am your father now.
Helter Skelter, CBS this May.
Great effort. Here comes Xavier. Pretty look. Here's Duhan. This for 3. Sato. Put it down and get to the 10. Chalmers. All the way. At the other end, here's Reddick. Judges. We'll return to Atlanta after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS.
I decided to make some serious changes. And now Chicken McNuggets are made with white meat. If they can change for the better, so can I. I'm loving it.
There are 2 sides to me. The all-conference catcher side, that's my tough side. And the side of me studying for a career in marine mammal rescue, that's my soft side. I'm finding I really need both sides to be the whole person that I want to be.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Whoa. Digital widescreen high-definition TVs with digital auto convergence and HD component video inputs, plus high-speed velocity scan modulation. Don't touch.
Hey guys, check out the game in high def.
Sweet. Now pay no interest for 2 years or get 10% off all TVs $399 and up. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
What if all-wheel drive had brains? Constantly adjusting. Giving you the handling of rear-wheel drive. And the traction of all-wheel drive. But only when you need it. Intelligent all-wheel drive that changes with the weather. Available on the Infiniti G35.
You said we couldn't afford this place.
Yeah?
You said we didn't have enough for the down payment.
Uh-huh.
Now what do you say?
I was wrong.
And?
You were right.
Welcome home.
Realize your dreams at Countrywide Home Loans. Call or visit your local branch today.
court, Kentucky coach Tubby Smith's team performs to the highest standards. Off the court, the Tubby Smith Foundation donates money to provide technology skills to low-income students. Because to Coach Smith, winning means providing a brighter future for our children.
Success rate is about 99% of the kids that have access to computers get their education, graduate from high school, go on to college.
At Microsoft, we see your potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by McDonald's, Putnam Investments, Miller, and by the new Chevrolets.
Xavier leads by 2 as we get set for the start of the second half. A berth in the Final Four at stake. We check in with Solomon Wilcots.
Duke assistant coach Chris Collins, what is it about what Xavier's doing that's causing you guys the most problems?
Well, they've played hard, and we haven't shown very much poise on offense. I think we're doing a pretty good job defensively. We have to use our poise, get good shots, and hopefully come out at the start of the second half.
All right, Chris, thanks for stopping by. Back to you, Vern.
Well, take a look at Duke's stats for the season on the left side. 80 points per game. They've been held at 28 points today. 33% field goal shooting in the first half. And 3 of 11 from the 3, Bill Raftery.
And the big thing is valuing the ball. Xavier only turns it over 3 times. Duke 17 plus a game that they turn it over. And you can see the difficulty ringing the bell. I think we'll see a different Chris Duhon now. He knows he has to emerge on the offensive end for this team.
Redick has it. Here's Duhon. And it's taken off the glass by Romain Sato. Those two have presented an intriguing match in the first half. Now Duhon is on Chalmers. Here's Chalmers, leading scorer for the Xavier Musketeers in the first half of play.
And Sato with only 2 points and Duhon with only 2 points. To kick out the Dolman, you got to stay at home on him.
Dolman misfires off the left side of the basket. Here's Chris Duhon and J.J. Redick.
Oh, look at this foul. A tug of war. And watch yourself there. Miles a little upset at one of the premier officials, Mike Kitts.
Had a wrestling match underneath. Anthony Miles is called for the foul as he got bottled up with Sheldon Williams.
They'd be a heck of a tag team, wouldn't they?
Whoa.
Those two?
Boy.
Big wide bodies.
Redick, jumper in the lane. No.
Good rebound.
Williams offensive board. That's out of bounds. Touch last by Sheldon Williams.
Well, if you're a Duke fan right now, there's a little more energy in their play. I think they missed the layup, maybe a little overzealous at the start. So Xavier has to do a nice job. They've been penetrating off the high screen and disdaining going inside. That time they go outside.
Diedrich Finn up short. Miles put back, got it.
Boy, the dribble is decimating Duke. All the attention, the heads are turned, looking at the dribble, and nobody sealing with the block out.
Diedrich Finn got the start at the second half, replacing Justin Cage. Here's a foul called on Finn. Let's go back and take a look at that dribble penetration by Finn.
A nice job with that high screen to find it. You just see the inability to get on the inside because everybody's eyes are attached to the bounce. And I think that's really been a major dilemma containing the dribbler.
Daniel Ewing goes to the line. You see the line on Anthony Miles. A 4-point lead for Xavier. Follow the game on CBS Sportsline's Game Center and get more than just live scores. Get play-by-play coverage as it happens without having to refresh the page. Check it out at cbssportsline.com. Ewing a successful trip.
And Duke stepping up the defense on the made free throw. They're trying to energize themselves. Normally they feed off the defense, some turnovers, some easy goals. Xavier has had them at odds because of this ability right here.
Quick, Lionel Chalmers.
He's so close to the ground. It's tough. Nice double and reaction by Deng.
No good. There's Miles with the putback again. The tip. Got it the second time.
The big guy. He doesn't elevate big, but he carves such an area out. Spreads and moves some people.
One of 3 seniors for this Xavier team. I'm resisting all inclinations to refer to the 3 Musketeers. Successfully to that point.
I'm glad you are. And right here you can see just the big shoulders, so impressive as they don't get a body and dig on him. And he is playing terrific basketball on both ends of the floor.
There's the entry pass. Finn with the steal. Here's Finn. He's quick as well. And there's Williams, rejected. That's his 4th block in this ball game. He had 8 in one game earlier this year, and he demolished the season record of blocks formerly held by our colleague Mike Jaminski.
How about that, Michael? Huh? I didn't know Mike could elevate like that. I think Finn got in too deep. He should have taken advantage and kicked it off.
109 blocks now for the season for Williams. And there's a foul going to be called on Luol Deng.
Number 3, I believe.
That's his 3rd.
That changes the way they play. Coaches looking at one another. Right now, they're going to let him go. He played with 2 in the first half successfully.
Mike Krzyzewski placid at this point. Dolman inbounds. On the line, it will be Xavier's ball. Romain Sato, 27 points against Texas on Friday night. 2 points in this ball game.
And then Chris Duhan's attached to him. That's the difficulty. He's not getting clean looks, really not moving without the ball, and they haven't needed it because of the ability of the guards.
And they've got Redick on him now.
Yeah.
They had Duhan on him in the first half.
Chambers had hurt them, so I think Mike's going Duhan on Chambers.
Right. Here's Sato with Redick guarding him. Spin move. Foul called.
It might be Williams in the front. Let's see what the signal. Now
it's Williams. Nope. Yes. Sheldon Williams. That's 3rd on him.
Boy, that changes things totally. But now, if he's in, you got to use him. I think that's the big thing. That little flex screen that they've been running, they've got to go to and ride it to the bank.
Romain Sato, one of the marvelous stories in college basketball. January 19th of 1999. Misses the first. He came from the Central African Republic, the capital of Bangui, as an exchange student from a group called Friends of Africa, taken in by Tom and Tiffany Thompson. They are now his legal guardians. He will graduate. There's his legal guardian mom. That's Tiffany. They have 2 children of their own. And Romain Sato has not seen his folks in 5 years back in Bangui. And here's a foul on Williams. And just to complete the story on Sato, he's got a brother, Honore, who is on the computer as we speak with his mom, Josephine Yakia. They don't understand basketball, the parents, Augustine and Josephine, but the brother does. And as this game is being played, he's on the computer in Bangui in the Central African Republic telling Romain Sato's mom and dad what's going on.
A nice little cut by Deng. That is a wonderful story. The academic ability at Xavier and Duke, a credit to these 2 terrific institutions, making sure these guys get a degree when they finish.
Miles picked up his 3rd.
Pretty delivery again.
Donovan Cole, there's Deng. Here comes Duhan and Duke, trailing by 3. They're 3-3 this season when they trail at the half. They were down to Xavier by 2. Deng for 3.
How about that, huh? They have the load up by Williams after the high screen. He goes to the lane. And then the drift by Deng. They yo-yo the 2 big guys.
Deng has 9 points.
Finn's been able to go anywhere he wants with the dribble. That's a major issue.
Dolman for 3.
Oh, wow! A rattler. He can stroke it, and he also knows how to put it on the deck.
6'9" freshman from Ryle High School in Union, Kentucky. Here's Duhan at the other end. Up and under, he's got 2.
That's the aggressive nature he's got to exhibit, I think. And now they try and rag the length of the floor.
Diedrich Finn, guarded by Daniel Ewing.
Ooh.
It was
a little nickel dimer. And Mike Hitz just looking off. A little woofing going on there.
That's 3 on Ewing. So a trio of players for Duke with 3 fouls. Deng and Williams and Ewing. And Sheldon Williams will get a rest. Sean Dockery is coming on as well. And he'll replace Daniel Ewing.
Now you can see the problems right there. You'll see a lot of different individuals. The one thing when Dockery comes in, he steps up the defense. He really can get after a guy.
Luol Deng guards the inbound pass. Here's Chalmers.
Dockery reminds you a little bit of Barley from St. Joe's. You look at this help.
Oh, Randolph is there with a block. Here's Duhan for Duke. He's got Dockery left side. He'll leave it for Deng instead. Ding, ding.
My bell, you'll ring. Oh, my goodness. Duhan, a different personality, huh? Driving the D, and it's setting up the big fella.
Here's Chalmers at the other end for Xavier. Duke reclaims the lead by 1. Luol Deng, 7 points in the last 2 minutes. Crossover in the lane. Dockery with a foul.
Yeah, almost a give up there. He had been blown by and didn't get the containment necessary.
Here's Deng. Time has been called. 15:41 to play.
Introducing the 15 new Chevy Colorados. Regular cab, extended cab, and crew cab. The most mid-sized trucks ever unleashed. Chevy Colorados. An American Revolution.
Oh, hey, Stu. New tie?
No.
Hey, Stu, waxed your back?
Not lately. Hey, Stu. Did you take care of that rash? Nope.
Whoa! You going commando?
No.
Did you see your...
No. I saw my bartender. You told me to try this.
If you want to have it all, great taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs of Bud Light, talk to your bartender. Great taste, less filling, Miller Lite. Good call.
This Friday.
Where'd you get the drugs?
From the casino.
You can only push a good man so far.
I'm not gonna let this stand.
Stand up. Fight back.
This is my town.
Walking Tall. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Thursday, a bizarre twist will drive one castaway to do the unbelievable.
The next move is going to have serious consequences.
A new Survivor All-Stars on its regular night, Thursday.
Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, and UConn have earned their way into the Final Four. Bill talked about the graduation rates of both Duke and Xavier among their athletes. Well, one of these teams will get a graduation certificate and advance to San Antonio next week. They will take on UConn. Luol Deng. We mentioned Romain Sato and his personal journey to this spot. Luol Deng, born in Sudan. His family, the kids, learned basketball from the Newt Bowl. There's the pump fake, and Dolman, nice entry pass up, and a foul is going to be called.
It was if it's on Randolph, it's unfair. What a great job. He got it clean. That was one of those anticipated fouls. Oh my goodness, from the rear he gets all ball here, Verno. Look at this. This is just a clean play. Come on, save it. Put it in your hip pocket. That's just great. That's anticipating the foul. Let it happen.
Miles at the line. One more. Thursday on a new Without a Trace, CYTV Guide calls this week's episode a thriller filled with twists. Don't miss the surprise ending Thursday, 10/9 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. 2 at the line, successful for Williams. 9 lead changes, 7 ties. Largest lead by either team. Xavier by 5.
And this is where I think Duhan is tough, playing off the ball. Dockery on top.
Yep. And they've got Deng outside. That's he learned those techniques from a guy named Grant Hill. Reddick goes for the steal. Here's Romain Sato. Dolman. And back into the hands of Chalmers. Now Duhan shadows Sato again.
And now he switches back. He's on Dolman. Baseline. Oh, the third. That is tough. Pretty good footwork by Randolph. I think he may have been moving, though. Don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, just a great anticipation. You can be moving, but you've got to get there and establish. That's still that. It hadn't been planted, and that's number 3, I believe.
And he becomes the 4th Duke player with 3 fouls. Shavlik Randolph, for the moment, stays on the floor. And that one was kicked. So we'll attempt it again.
That's the big concern now as you come down to crunch time. Make sure you rotate people a little bit. That's what Mike's been doing. Williams out right now, resting.
Chalmers having trouble to find the inbound player. Got it off the glass.
And unfortunately, they let the basketball come in under the basket. And Reddick in a very vulnerable position. You can see the strength around the rim.
Now that's the freshman Justin Cage, who has started the last 17 games, his first basket, and a Duke turnover as Reddick put it a little high for the 6'10" Shavlik Randolph.
Mike wants timeout. They are not the personality you are accustomed to seeing with Duke.
Xavier, the 7th seed. They've never been this deep in the tournament. They lead Duke by 3.
Every square inch of Putnam Investments strives for consistent, dependable, superior performance over the long term. For good reason. You. At Putnam Investments, we urge you to consider the investment objective, risks, charges, and fees for any fund. Ask your financial advisor or plan sponsor for a prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully before you invest. There's no assurance any fund will be able to meet its objective.
Allergies used to take the fun out of games. Now, I'm Claritin Clear.
Up here, I gotta be alert. Claritin relieves my toughest symptoms without putting me in a fog.
Claritin Clear means non-drowsy 24-hour relief.
There's Clear, then there's Claritin Clear.
The new Colorado Z71 with an available 220 horsepower engine.
You're it.
Don't let all that power go to your head. Chevy, an American revolution.
We're witnessing a college basketball miracle. Dick Vitale silent for an entire 17 seconds. On a personal note, for myself and sportscasters everywhere, I'd like to thank the crust, the juicy toppings, and the pizza delivery guy.
For fresh baked pizza at home, pick up DiGiorno for the game and you could win NCAA Final Four tickets for life. Look for details on specially marked packages or visit craftfoods.com.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Microsoft, Hellboy, Tostitos, and by the Principal Financial Group.
.14:30 remaining in regulation. Duke hitting 38%, Xavier 35. Duke 7 turnovers, only 4 for Xavier so far. And the Blue Devils have blocked 6. Well, only 3 players have ever had their jerseys retired at Xavier. Here's one of the men, Tyrone Hill. He spoke to the team. He was part of the last squad that got into the Sweet 16, a team that lost to Texas in 1990 in Dallas. Kick it in the corner. David West, who was a star on this team a year ago, now in the NBA, is also here. And Barry Larkin, Byron Larkin, I'm thinking Barry and baseball is part of the radio crew here. So that one's off the glass and chased down by Lou Aldang.
Nice play. He looked off the defender, Dolman, and those big, wide strides took it to the tip.
1-point game, 13:49 to go.
Well, Sato got a great look, didn't he?
Look at Duke in the second half. They hit 61% of their win over Illinois on Friday night.
And Sato trying to get untracked. Nice call by Thad Mott. He got him on the box, couldn't come up with anything.
There's Reddick, stays with Chalmers. Takes the jumper off the iron. And a foul is called as Miles comes down to the rebound. It's going to be Shavlik Randolph, and that's going to be 4.
Got to come up with it. Here's the little look off here. Just Dolman anticipates that is just a heady play. A rookie to boot. A little head and ball fake and then taken to the tip.
Randolph sits with 4. That is the 7th team foul. Miles will shoot 2. He's 2 of 3 at the line so far. 1 and 1, beg your pardon. Not 2.
You mentioned his poor free throw shooting all year, but what a tiger on the glass he has been, Vern. You got to get ready, and Duke was when he's shooting, and they know the numbers too.
Yep.
Took the shooter. Who else? Duke.
Saw Daniel Ewing flash in the lane, got the rebound. Here's Duke with a chance to reclaim the lead. Daniel Ewing has the ball. Sheldon Williams wants it.
Got the carry, got the luggage. You don't see it called that often, but you know, it's interesting. I think Mike asked for it earlier. It's interesting. That's what drives coach. I watch him just linger between floors there. Give him a couple of bucks for the luggage.
Toting the Toomey.
You got to roll it.
Here's Finn. Justin Cage. Romain Sato. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was tipped in by Williams.
And they'll give it to Miles because he was the nearest player, but you're right. Sato getting clean looks now, just fighting himself a little bit. You got to fight through it.
Some nights, do you think it's just your night?
Divine intervention. And look at the load up in the lane. And Deng's have become a very good post passer. And they finally get Miles. That's their pet play. That and the flex. But as you noted, Vern, the piece by the white shirt, and he's just trying really tipping it to himself, I think, trying to tip it off the glass. Unfortunately, he gathered the rim.
Well, Anthony Miles picks up his 4th foul. He'll stay on. Duhan. As Chalmers got out, Reddick with the spot up. Can't get it. And a push up on Miles, and that's number 5.
Wow, does that change the whole game? He had gotten away with one earlier, Vern, that drew the ire of Mike Krzyzewski. And as a player, you think you can continue. It's a discard. You put your hands down in the crowd, and he's got to be careful. You don't want any extra harm done.
Well, I'm a lip reader.
You see the hands, though, as he went up? I mean, it's unfortunate, but that is the normal tendency when you're...
Thad Mott is about to get teed up. He's got to be really careful.
Yes. He's saying he got the wrong number. I think I'm just reading into it, but there's no question it was Miles. That's one of those you will question yourself whether you should have had him out. Mike Kitts, she was saying he got 30, and they are almost ready to play other than Mike and Thad. Game's going on, guys.
Now here's the push off again.
See the hands on the shoulder, and then you bring them up nice and clean. You think you got away with it. Frustrating, but the right call.
So the Musketeers lose Miles with 12 minutes and 24 seconds remaining.
And here's the zone. They got to really watch the deep shooting. And you've got to acknowledge these guys are all worried about the inside people. Williams loading up, Deng as well.
Daniel Ewing, the only starter on this Duke team who was not acknowledged as an all-ACC team member. He finished 17th in the voting, the top 15 earned status. Every other starter on the Duke squad was recognized in some form or another.
And he is making them pay for it a little bit.
Chalmers tied at 44.
And they're going the other way here. The load up in the lane. I mentioned Sato a little bit frustrated, not getting his way and venting it. The emotions got to be controlled against Duke.
Here we go, steal down the middle, 1-on-1. Bang! Oh, Duke! Did you see what I see?
Because I saw a robbery. Hey, man, does anybody want a Coke?
Yeah, we get up, man.
Hey, you crazy, man? That's Corinthian leather. And use the footstool to get to the refrigerator. You think I'm running all over y'all like a treadmill? Oh, I am the greatest. I'm the greatest. Can't stop it. It's bad hot. I'm telling you, I'm just super nice in it, you know? That's all. When you nice right
That's all that talking.
Come together. Oh, come together. And whoa, come together. Oh, come together. And whoa.
The many ways we communicate are coming together for you.
Come together.
With and. Only from AT&T.
Why do we work? Why do we get up every day and leave the people we love? At the Principal Financial Group, we know you work for more than just a paycheck. For 120 years, the Principal has helped people keep more of the money they make and do more with the money they save. You work hard. We make work hard for you. The Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
I got a fever, an inflammation that's...
Introducing the new Chevy Equinox.
You turn the heat on me.
It's one hot SUV.
Taco Bell's new Fiesta Taco Salad. All the tastes you love with a new tangy chunky salsa and new lime seasoned crunchy tortilla strips. Now even more irresistible. For a taco salad that's even better than the original, think outside the bun.
So you're telling me we can get 8 million L28s at 6 1/4, and by the 10th?
It's covered.
And we can move them all from South China to LA for distribution by the 1st of next month.
Ocean freight, all set?
And no customs hassles. None, right?
They'll be cleared.
The supply chain experts at UPS will help you keep the promises you make.
Cross your heart?
Your supply chain synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Vern Lundquist, J.J. Redick right over here. You got to put a body on the guy as he dives to the rim or in a checkout situation. You can see right here maybe a little bit of a pratfall. Redick got a hand on him, and then the push, and then the frustration. Miles out, Sato with 2, Finn and Cole as well. But on the other side, Mike's going to have to rotate people consistently as they come down the stretch.
Let's check the 5 on the floor now with 11:42 to go. Chris Duhon with those bad ribs on the lower part of his right back, joined by Daniel Ewing, J.J. Redick, Luol Deng, and Sheldon Williams. The starting 5 on the floor.
Duhan's got bad ribs and a big heart.
Oh, my goodness.
Ticker.
And the job he's done on Romain Sato today is just amazing.
And or Chambers.
Yes.
Nice dribble handoff, gives Ewing a nice look, and it's tippable.
Chased down by Redick. Here's Duhon on this side. He's picked up by Romain Sato, number 10. Tie game, 44-44.
They run the baseline, and if there's any help, they lock low.
Redick.
There it is. He's been toying with getting free. He punishes you. He's so consistent in his sprint and running around the picks. Curls beautifully and gets himself set.
Up and under, stolen. Another turnover. Here comes the break. They leave it for Redick. No!
Well, that would have been so dagger, and Duhon knew it.
Sato fadeaway, not there tonight. Rebound, Justin Cage, not there for him either.
And what a nice job by Cole to keep it alive for Cage.
You get just a feeling of a sense of desperation from Xavier right now.
And Sato is one of those guys, if he could just back it off a little, he could help this team. He's so talented.
Ewing with his own putback, doesn't get the roll. Romain Sato, 1 of 9 from the field. Lionel Chalmers, now he's picked up by Duhon.
And Vern, they've done a much better job, Duke, of containing this particular play. Circling or assisting or showing and occasionally switching as they did now.
Deng is out on Chalmers. Chalmers scoreless in this half.
They're going to switch it back.
Takes him off the dribble. Little runner in the lane, got it.
And you know, that was actually Duhan. He was trying to get Deng to switch, and Deng was on the wrong side. They couldn't exchange. Now they're chatting in the backcourt for that reason.
Got a glance at a very emotional senior Anthony Miles as we came back down the court. He fouled out with 12:27 to go. Had great difficulty in holding back the tears after he fouled out. And this one's going to be called on Lionel Chalmers. There's Miles. And Dolman, the freshman, back on now, replacing Justin Cage.
Now, wow. Cole and Cage are going to have to play very well. Same situation for Thad Matta, giving guys extra minutes.
And here's Deng at the line. Chris Collins and Mike Krzyzewski both recruited Luol Deng, and foul underneath on Brandon Cole.
Well, they're really having their problem. He only gets 10 minutes a game. I don't know why the conversation with the two officials.
That's Landis Poole, one of the three, and that is Cole's third foul.
Williams at 69%. Solid when your big guys can nail these.
Sheldon Williams shooting 1 and 1. Mentioned his nickname, the Landlord. He got that in the 9th grade back in Midwest City, Oklahoma, because he dominated the space in the paint. Well, the tournament summary, we started with 65 teams 12 days ago. UConn in the final for the first time since '99. Oklahoma State, first time since '95. Georgia Tech, first time since '90. And the last team will earn that right in the next 9 minutes and 13 seconds. This is on J.J. Redick.
Just that game last night, one of the great ones, I thought. St. Joe's, Phil Martelli and his guys, sensational. Eddie Sutton, one of the true gentlemen, dedicated guys in this profession. It's going to be a great week next week. Just one more piece.
Mike Krzyzewski hoping that his team gets back there, and he has a chance at his 4th NCAA championship. Romain Sato hoping to lead Xavier in for the first time ever. Thad Matta grew up on the border between Indiana and Illinois in a town called Hoopeston.
And give me the nickname of the high school team.
He called me back yesterday to Thad Matta. He says, "You want to know what our team nickname was?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We were the Hoopeston Corn Jerkers."
I hope they won a lot. Nice alley-oop to Ewing. How about that play? Duhan with the rub by Deng.
My, oh my, 9 to go and a 3-point Duke lead.
That's where they set you up consistently, lifted that weak side. Nobody there to help. Great deployment.
Here's Chalmers, Chris Duhan, senior and senior. What a battle. Dolman, the freshman, tries to find help.
And Duhan is all over Chalmers. That's been the difference in this half from Duke's end. Only once did they have a mishap.
Backs it out, 5 on the shot clock. Now Deng's on him. Over Deng.
Nice
off the rim, there's Sato. And 1.
That's where he can do his damage. One of the better rebounders from the guard spot. I don't know if they give this to Williams.
It is.
Ooh. Everybody over 6'5" has got some numbers in the foul category. And right here, too much dribbling, a tough jack, and this is frustrating for defense. You do a great job all the way through the shot clock, and one of the premier rebounders elevates, able to get a 3-point possibility.
Sheldon Williams heads to the bench with his 4th. Shavlik Randolph back on the floor, plays with his 4th. Now Brandon Cole will go out, Justin Cage on. All ready for Xavier if you missed it. Anthony Miles, the 6'9" senior, fouled out about 4 minutes ago. Sato, who hit 14 of 17 from the line on Friday night, misfires with a chance to tie it up. We're near the 8-minute mark. Duhan prowling the perimeter, taken away. This is Diedrich Finn. There's Dang, so he comes back outside. Chalmers goes by Duhan, kicks it out. Finn for three. No. Oh, is that big?
Great opportunity.
Randolph might have just fouled out.
Yeah, Cage was the guy fouled, I believe.
It's Reddick. J.J. Reddick, it was 4 and not 4-2.
How good was that play? I mean, just solid. Nice counter.
And if you think back when this is all over, how big was that play?
Absolutely. Emotionally as well.
10th team foul, so Xavier in the bonus. Double bonus now for the last 7:45. And Justin Cage, undefeated at Pikes High School in Indianapolis last year. They won the state championship. He was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. And he misses with a chance to give Xavier the lead. Reddick grabs the ball, calls timeout. And we've got 7:43 remaining. Tie game.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You gelling?
I'm taking a shell in, but I'm still gelling.
My trades are smelling.
Mine too, but who cares?
We're gelling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Tonight begins with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes, followed by television's most watched new drama, Cold Case. Then Jacqueline Bisset and Jeremy Sisko star in the CBS Sunday movie, Jesus. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. 7:43 to go, 51 all. Xavier, first time ever in the Elite Eight in the history of the program. Duke, 3 national champions under Mike Krzyzewski. They've only lost once in a regional final. That was in 1998 to Kentucky. It was, by the way, 12 years ago today in Philadelphia that Duke defeated Kentucky 104-103. Some guy named Christian Leitner hit a shot, I remember.
And you were there, and Grant Hill inbounded, and Reddick gets to the rim, but comes up empty, didn't have legs.
Here's Xavier. Chalmers, spin move. Oh, what a spin move. Off the glass, offense.
Good call. Good call. And wipe it out as well. Great footwork. Occasionally, your dribbling gets you into trouble. Little spin. You think you're away, and the feet are set. Great call, and an easy one.
Do you have the right truck? The best-selling half-ton regular and extended cab is now available as a crew cab. Introducing the new Silverado half-ton crew. It's the right truck from Chevy.
Honey, would you be a dear and pick up your brother?
Faster?
Brother, soccer 6.
Good.
What on earth could you and your grandma be talking about for 3 minutes?
Mom, I didn't make the squad.
Is your family's wireless plan costing you a fortune? Take your number to T-Mobile, where families talk free.
Free?
Free.
Now families talk free. 2 lines, just $49.99.
T-Mobile. Get more.
So what floor do you live on?
I live down the hall, 22B.
Are you the guy in the corner apartment?
Yeah.
You should really think about closing your blinds.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, we're moving. Good thinking. Pass the Tostitos.
We should do this more often.
Everyone loves a great crunchy taste of Tostitos scoops. And with a bite-sized bowl shape, you get the perfect dip every time.
So you see everything?
Yeah.
Right.
Meet you at the Tostitos.
There are things that go bump in the night, and we are the ones who bump back. Hellboy.
Hellboy, rated PG-13. Opens everywhere Friday.
All light beers are low in carbs. So choose on taste. Fresh, smooth, real. Bud Light. It's all here.
It's all here on CBS, the most watched new drama, the most watched new comedy, and the most watched drama on television. Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network.
Duke has been here before. In 1990, March 24th, East Regional Final against UConn. Christian Laettner. That sent the game into overtime and Duke to the Final Four. On March 28th, 92, we all remember this one. Laettner, he was perfect that night, 10 of 10 from the field, 10 of 10 from the line. And Mike Krzyzewski's team went on to win the national championship. I also realized, hearing it earlier, that that was Lenny Elmore's birthday that day. Oh my and God. Again today, and he must have been 25 then.
He sure looks young, and they sounded great, didn't they? He and Gus.
Here's Shavlik Randolph, 51 all, under 7 to go.
He's got a nice little hook here. There you go. A little square up and knock it down. Good off the timeout. And both these coaches are going to be tested coming down the stretch. Who's going to be left standing?
Here's Chalmers, 6:38 to go.
And dang with this matchup now. They should clear a little room. This may be a dribble and fine. Look at the two that have to play, the little guy.
Chalmers up and under, doesn't get the roll. Sato rejected.
Oh, they got a foul as well. That's 5. I think
Shavlik Randolph, and that's number 5. Wow. Tonight on 60 Minutes, he's the smallest guy in the soccer field, but he's the one with the biggest paycheck, and he's only 14 years old. Meet him on 60 Minutes tonight.
Randolph's had 2 blocks that I thought were play-ons, and that was the second. We had one earlier in the game. They went to him off the timeout. He was solid, makes the jump hook, and at a disadvantage here, but well, if anything, maybe the top of the head.
Yep,
huh?
yep. So Shavlik Randolph with 3 points, and Sheldon Williams back on, playing with 4 fouls. Here's Romain Sato at the line. Mentioned he had 14 of 17 free throws the other night. He's 4 of 6 at the line tonight. Cage out, Cole back for Xavier. Romain Sato graduates in May, majoring in French, his native language. He also speaks 5 others, hoping to speak the language which will give this Xavier team its first trip ever to a Final Four. Reddick blocked. Cole, Xavier runs. Finn kicks it left side. Sato back outside. Move the ball around. No.
Look at the rebound.
Cole for the rebound. Up, in.
How about the numbers? They ran, as you mentioned. Sato with good patience, didn't rush it. Ball reversal, and then attacking the rim.
Second chance points. And a 2-point lead with 5:40 to go. There's a shoulder.
Oh, rushing that. Took the hit. Got to get a better shot.
That was Cole defensively. Here's Chalmers. The spin move. Foul.
Reddick got a piece of it. He just gave it away. Got up on the wrist. I believe that might be number 3 for Reddick. And the pushing of the ball the last 2 trips draws a lot of attention. And Reddick just can't get up high enough. Pulls the arm to save the deuce.
The freshman Brandon Cole goes to the line, where for the season he's only 24 of 47. How about that?
It's a different day, and it means a lot more.
51% free throw shooter. This is for a 4-point lead with 5:31 to go.
And look at this.
Offensive board, Dolman.
What a read. Nice slip to the other side of the rim.
Duhan on Chalmers, as he has been for the entire second half. Stolen by Reddick. Dolman back.
Nice hustle by Sato.
Couldn't save it. Out of bounds. He tried to call timeout, but he did not have possession.
Real heady play. Great effort. And Reddick tried to keep it on the left side, but dribbled here. That's what cost him the problem. Not in his dominant hand, not as efficient with it.
30-second timeout. Well, let's pause and take a breath. We'll be right back.
Will my car be ready this afternoon like you promised?
Yes.
Will you use a bunch of lingo I won't understand?
No.
Will you try to sell me something I really don't need?
No.
Do you like Broadway show tunes?
No.
Visit your neighborhood Midas mechanic now for lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes. Just $89.95, including installation. Guaranteed for as long as you own your car. For mechanics known for their work and their word.
Trust the Midas touch.
Here's tonight's lineup on CBS. We'll begin with 60 Minutes, then Cold Case, and the CBS Sunday movie titled Jesus. Well, 65 teams began 12 days ago with a dream getting to the Final Four. Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State have realized the dream, so also has UConn. Duke or Xavier will advance to San Antonio, take that stroll down the Riverwalk, enjoy their weekend in the marvelous city. And here's Deng for three. How about the
A little nylon. Oh, my goodness. Nobody came out. He just popped to the corner. Was not screened on that out of bounds.
Luol Deng, 35% shooter from three for the year. There's a miss and a rebound.
Yeah, Dolman had a nice, clean look. Had a rattler. .445 to go. This is their high-low game now. Deng. Nice effort here by Williams.
On the floor. Hell ball, possession arrow, Duke. And
nice holding their heads.
Yeah, I think Daniel Ewing knocked heads, maybe with his own teammate.
Getting untangled. A great play by Williams. A monster effort that particular trip. You know who needs a blow right now? The officials. I mean, they're looking at one another. They have had to work every single trip, every sequence.
Patrick Bristol, Alandis Poole, and Mike Kitts, the trio doing it today.
Got to get ready to move. Nice fade, and they get the lock low.
Sato out on him. Reddick gets a screen from Williams. Up, under, not there. Dolman has the ball. Here comes Xavier. Tie game, 4:18 to go.
And they got people down.
Brandon Cole too strong. Fights for the ball into the hands of Deng.
Got to be careful of the charge.
Dolman back.
Yep.
Offense. Yes, sir, Bill.
Shot at half court. Great play by Dolman. Rookie on rookie. You can always learn a lesson. Backpedaling. This is one of those fade dribbles. Give it to the guard. And Dolman just offering it up beautifully. Great position. And Deng, unfortunately, not the best of plays.
And the fourth foul on the freshman. So the freshman took the charge for Xavier. The freshman picked up his fourth foul for Duke. 4 minutes to go. Chalmers and Duhon.
And they get to play. Nice. Jay set it up. He took away the turn to the right side of the floor. And with great footwork and anticipation, talk about courage, forgetting about injury, doing anything he can do in a leadership role to help his team. Solid D gets the turnover.
No, come on. Hey, can I get the cap when you're done?
No. Yeah, all right. If you run around the house in your skivvies.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta see this.
Yeah, me too.
Collect the caps from specially marked Coke bottles and get money off select video games like College Hoops. Drink more Coke, get more game.
Not funny!
Free incoming calling plans from Nextel. Get instant walkie-talkie to connect in under a second. And get free incoming calls. Fast and free, starting at $49.99 a month. Get it done fast and free. Call 866-470-DONE to shop or find a Nextel store.
I've made some big calls in front of loud crowds and menacing linemen. I also made the call to go see my doctor and ask about Prevacid.
Call now for a 7-day free trial certificate and ask your doctor if prescription Prevacid is right for you.
I got a fever and inflammation that's...
Introducing the new Chevy Equinox.
You turn the heat on me.
It's one hot SUV.
Great teams are often forged over the hot coals of adversity. On the eve of the big meeting, the third quarter numbers suddenly changed. But so did your presentation, automatically. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's a Cinderella story.
CSI's next murder suspect will leave you wondering if pure evil really exists.
He felt like he was on fire.
A new episode Thursday.
Let's check the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Nothing more significant at this point than foul trouble. Get complete tournament coverage at CBSSportsline.com. Shavlik Randolph has already fouled out for Duke. Anthony Miles fouled out at the 12:27 mark for Xavier. So they can only sit and watch. This has become a physical battle of attrition.
Battle royale. Cole's going to have to play big. Cage's going to have to play big. Dolman's going to have to play big on the one side. Counter that with Deng playing within himself. And I would look for something low to Williams or Deng. That little high-low that they like to run.
Ewing on the floor with Sheldon Williams. Here's Diedrich Finn. The jumper not there. And Romain Sato with a brilliant job of getting up. He's a terrific rebounder.
He sure is. And over Deng as well.
Yes. Xavier hasn't scored from the field in 4.5 minutes. Sato has 10 rebounds. He's got the ball now. And loses the basketball.
He would say, dang it, as he rode him into the big guy, and that's what I think scared him. Williams was looming.
On the floor as we hit the 3:15 mark. You've got Ewing and Duhon. Redick has the ball now. Sato out on him. And here's Justin Cage on Sheldon Williams. The other one is Luol Deng. Duhon, no. A tip, a battle for it. Deng saves it. Redick for three.
What a play by the freshman, and the presence to kick it out to one of the purest of all with the stroke.
2:45 to go. That is J.J. Redick's third three of the game.
Get some penetration. Don't need threes.
Chalmers held to 2 points in this half by Chris Duhon. He had 13 at the break. Here's Diedrich Finn.
Automatic switching now. Maybe get it back to Chalmers. See if we can take Ewing.
Finn. Good. Rejected. Williams with a block.
Major. 5 rejection. Get it out and dodge. Got to stop now if you're Xavier. Little clock usage now. Some heady people, particularly Duhon, at the helm.
2 minutes remaining. Duhon on the floor, up and under, too strong.
Oh my goodness, Deng, up and above.
Luol Deng, largest lead of the game for Duke, 5 points.
Two of the biggest rebounds you may see for Duke this season. Deng with the kick out to Redick, and then elevating up and above with the soft pause. That refreshes, at least if you're following Duke.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Those back-to-back plays by Luol Deng result in Duke's largest lead of the ball game, 5 points. 1:46 to go. Both teams 2 timeouts. Both are in the double bonus. Xavier, whose dream might be slipping away now, trails by 5. Thad Matta, 36 years of age. Mike Krzyzewski on the right. West Point said fear is a factor, the way he was raised in a working-class Polish community in Chicago. You always are afraid of losing your spot. It's a motivational device he uses, and his team is up by 5.
Well, Xavier has some answers now. They're going to Sato. Offensive rebound's been a very important aspect of their game. Dribble drive as well. Look at Dolman and Rook as well. They're taking over. The babies stepping up big.
80 seconds to go. It's a 3-point Duke lead.
Just got to stay at home. Don't gamble.
Redick on the curl.
And the pull. Yep. The hands in there. Sato. I believe they've both been shooting too.
That's the foul on Sato, his third, and going to the line is the second best free throw shooter in college basketball this year. Over the course of these games, J.J. Redick has missed 7.
And you saw 2 of them recently.
The shooting touch learned on a driveway in Roanoke, Virginia. His dad, Ken, instilled in him a love for the game. J.J. Redick said in the 8th and 9th grades, he broke both of his wrists. First the right, then the left, then the right. Those broken wrists and the casts helped him form a shooting touch.
And he seldom hits the rim. And look at this denial, almost a steal by Ewing. Great anticipation. Now, plenty of time. You're in a situation now. Still think, too, if you're Xavier, this is the toughest part of the floor to inbound, Vern. The angle is so difficult, it leads to a steal frequently. No, they don't go aggressively.
Diedrich Finn. 1:05 to go, and a 5-point margin for Duke.
And double screen to get Chambers.
Xavier trying to become only the 2nd seed in the history of this tournament to get to the Final Four. And a foul on the drive is going to send Sato back to the line.
Now, they've been using that bounce beautifully. All the big guys now, the little guys are having their problems getting through traffic, and Sato being more aggressive. Nice use of the left hand, gets a chance to bang 2.
J.J. Redick. Tiffany Thompson, his legal guardian, met him at the Dayton airport on January 19th, 1999. Romaine Sato spoke no English. Tiffany Thompson at the time with 2 children of her own. She and her husband Tom, a police sergeant in Dayton. She used to post notes around objects in the house to help teach him English. He misses the second. It's a 4-point game.
One solid trip is what you're thinking if you're Xavier now. Milk it a little bit if you're Duke.
And you've got Chris Duhon, the only senior on the starting 5 for Duke. Lou Alding, he learned to dribble watching tapes of Grant Hill.
And then Grant, when he was struggling this year, gave him a few phone calls. They become great buddies, and his game familiar.
8 on the shot clock. It's in Duhon's hands. Tripped, he'll go to the line.
Wow, they got everything they wanted here. Everything but 5 seconds. There was a book years ago, Profiles in Courage. This is a profile in courage. Damaged, injured, and yet rising to the occasion, Vern. Chris Duhon.
Mike Krzyzewski was talking about how he had a conversation on Monday night with his old coach, Bob Knight. They talked for an hour. Mike Krzyzewski told Bob Knight how appreciative he was of having Chris Duhon on the floor as an extension of himself. Our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Lionel Chalmers, 15 points, 5 of 14 from the field for Xavier. Lou Alding, 18 points, 7 rebounds from Duke. But here's the heart and soul of the Blue Devil basketball team. Chris Duhon. What a player. What a man. Duke leads by 6.
Colorado Z71 with an available 220 horsepower engine.
You're it.
Don't let all that power go to your head. Chevy, an American revolution.
And a Tender Crisp regular.
I had the Tender Crisp with tomatoes and extra mayo.
Yeah, they must have messed up the order.
Oh.
Sorry.
Mayo.
All white
Meat chicken wrapped in crisp deliciousness. The new Tender Crisp.
Have your way. Here's the lineup tonight on CBS. We'll begin with 60 Minutes, followed by television's most watched new drama Cold Case, and Jacqueline Bisset and Jeremy Sisto star in the Sunday movie Jesus, all here tonight on CBS. 65-59 with 24.6 to go. Duke with one timeout left. Xavier has two, both teams in the double bonus. It was tied at 56 all. Duke on a 12-3 run, and the two biggest plays, I think, of the ball game were the plays made by Luol Deng.
Absolutely. The rebound, the kick out to Reddick, and then the tip. Quick hitter right now. Get your defense set.
Here's Finn for three. Nope. Saved. Nope, it's not saved. It's out of bounds. It will be Xavier ball. Well, we've referred to this often as a mosaic, and the final piece of glass in this pretty picture is being put in place here in the final 25 seconds of this. The first game on Saturday, that one's no good. And here's the putback. It's good by Justin Cage, and time is called by Xavier. 65-61, 7.7 remaining.
I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopilla, Barranquilla, and Padilla, Amagaller. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
After 2 separate stays at any Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, Quality, Sleep Inn, Clearing, or Mainstay Suites, you'll earn a free night with Choice Privileges. The more you stay, the more you earn. For reservations or more details, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
4-point game. Duke 65-61 with 7.7. Thad Matta retains hope as the Duke Blue Devils will inbound the ball with 7.7 to go. First game again on Saturday in San Antonio. Eddie Sutton in Oklahoma State against Paul Hewitt and Georgia Tech. And UConn awaits the winner of this game. UConn and Duke, of course, played for the national championship in 1999. Jim Calhoun's team won that one. Here's the ball to Deng, and he's fouled by Sato.
And Chalmers, after a great first half, 1 for 6 and 2 points, simply because Chris Duhon wouldn't permit it to happen. I mean, that's what you ask for, that's what you look for. But the Atlantic 10 has done themselves proud, I think. When you think of St. Joe's great performance and Xavier, I mean, terrific teams that really stepped up at the right time of the year. And yet Duke, particularly with Deng's major contributions coming down the stretch.
Now here's Deng, who made the two big plays in this second half. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes as soon as we're concluded here, followed by Cold Case and the CBS Sunday movie Jesus. That's the lineup tonight on CBS. Luol Deng. 1 of 2. Off the rim, Sato. Final 4 seconds. The dream ends for Xavier. The shot good by Chalmers, and time is called with .8 to go. But it would take a Herculean effort for Xavier to win it.
Call me?
Really?
Of course.
So, did you kiss her?
2 more weeks, Dad? I'm cutting you loose.
Your student driver is going solo. Don't insure him with just anybody. Get a State Farm agent, someone you can count on to be there with young driver discounts and the coverage you need now. No wonder more families trust State Farm.
Did he kiss her?
Dear DirecTV, your service is great. Crystal clear picture, programming guide, it's just so great. Nothing could ever describe DirecTV better than the word great. Maybe wow, but no. Great works best. Sincerely, Crisco Pensy.
Wow, great, wow.
Get over 125 channels for $29.99 a month for 6 months, plus equipment and installation for up to 3 rooms free.
36-year-old Thad Matta in his 3rd year as the head coach at Xavier. A final piece of urgent advice for his team. They trail by 3 with 0.8 of a second remaining. They have had a brilliant season since going 10-9 and 2-5 at the start of the Atlantic 10. But Duke will inbound, and they've got a 3-point lead. And Dolman will guard the inbound pass.
And just get it in and hold on.
Here's Dang, tips it.
He's done everything right.
In the 60s and 70s, there was John Wooden and UCLA. In the 90s and the new century, there is Mike Krzyzewski and Duke. They are back in the Final Four. The Blue Devils prevail in a very hard-fought game. They outlast Xavier. They take on UConn next week. First game, tip time at 6:07 Saturday. That features Tech and Oklahoma State. Second, 8:47. For Sullivan Wilcox and Bill Raftery, I'm Vern Lundquist saying goodnight from Atlanta. This is a presentation of CBS, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.
They can't guard what they can't catch. The 350 horsepower Pontiac GTO.
How you like me now, I say.
A beautiful thing about women, they don't sweat like a guy.
Arm & Hammer Ultramax Antiperspirant Gel.
It's made just for guys.
Superior odor protection versus the leading gel at 8, 12, even 24 hours.
That's all the muscle a man needs.
Ultramax Gel.
Imagine steak and shrimp, or shrimp and steak. Imagine having both of these on just one plate. For me and you, a choice of shrimp and juicy steak. So happy together. So happy together.
Applebee's new steak and shrimp double features. Get happy. Eating good in the neighborhood.
I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopilla, Barranquilla, and Padilla, Amagilla. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
After 2 separate stays at any Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, Quality, Sleep Inn, Clearing, or Mainstay Suites, you'll earn a free night with choice privileges. The more you stay, the more you earn. For reservations or more details, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
You're really trying to live healthy, but using a highly abrasive toothpaste? Huh? Use Arm & Hammer Advance White with baking soda. It cleans while gently dissolving stains. Teeth get 3 shades whiter with just 1 tube. Advance White, a healthy way to white.
What am I? Am I a basketball player who's a psychology major? Or am I a psychology major who's a basketball player? You know, that's the thing about psychology. We tend to overanalyze everything.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
The network more people turn to for the best in sports television. The year-round leader is CBS Sports.
Catch CSI, TV's most watched drama, Thursdays on CBS. It's all here.
The fast C230 sports sedan with a supercharged compressor engine. To catch one, you gotta be in one.
Visit your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
On April 16th, a man with nothing to live for.
We're really sorry about your family.
Will become a hero.
Don't let your memories kill you.
They can't kill me. I'm already dead. With everything to fight for. Those who do evil to others will come to know me well.
No one's ever stood up for me before.
The Punisher, rated R. In theaters everywhere, April 16th.
Nice. Real nice. Good. Good times 2. Single. Double.
What are you doing?
Double. Single.
White Castle doubles, cheese, bacon cheese, and jalapeno cheese. They're double delicious. White Castle, what you crave.
The new BMW X3, the ultimate driving machine.
John Duncanson and Sylvia Gomez. Weekends on CBS 2.
Tonight, one man will find the courage to change the world forever.
That's why I was born.
To die?
To prove God's love.
Jesus, CBS Tonight.
The Secretary of State, Defense, the Director of the CIA have all testified in public under oath before the Commission. If you can talk to us and other news programs, why can't you talk to the Commission in public and under oath?
Nothing would be better, from my point of view, than to be able to testify. I would really like to do that, but there's an important principle involved here. It is a long-standing principle that sitting national security advisors do not testify before the Congress.
Is Charles Pickering, the judge President Bush nominated for a seat on a federal appeals court down south, is he racially insensitive because he reduced the jail term of a cross-burner in Mississippi?
To accuse a white Southerner of being a racist is about the worst thing you can do. I have worked for more than 3 decades trying to provide better relations between the races, trying to protect equal rights. That's my core being.
The bottom line is, if Judge Pickering were so sensitive to the long and sad racial history in Mississippi, he would never have done what he did with the case of cross-burning.
With the first pick in the first round, DC United picks Mr. Freddie Adu.
Freddie Adu can do just about anything he wants with a soccer ball, including fake much older players right out of their cleats. People who know say that he could develop into the best player, not just in America, but in the entire soccer-mad world. And at $500,000 a year, the highest paid player in American pro soccer before ever playing a single game.
I'm Mike Wallace.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Ed Bradley.
I'm Steve Croft.
I'm Leslie Stahl. Those stories and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
I'm feeling good. I'm taking once-a-day Wellbutrin XL, an antidepressant with a low risk of sexual side effects.
Wellbutrin XL effectively treats depression with a low risk of sexual side effects. Wellbutrin XL works for my depression. And Wellbutrin XL has the convenience of a once-a-day pill. Wellbutrin XL is not for everyone. If you take Wellbutrin XL, there is a risk you may have a seizure. Do not use if you have or have had a seizure or eating disorder, or if you take an MAOI, Zyban, or other medicines that contain bupropion. You should not take Wellbutrin XL if you are abruptly stopping the use of alcohol or sedatives. When used with a nicotine patch or alone, there is a risk of increased blood pressure, sometimes severe. To reduce risk of serious side effects, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Other side effects may include dry mouth, nausea, and difficulty sleeping.
I'm feeling like myself again.
Ask your doctor about once-a-day Wellbutrin XL. Effectively treats depression with a low risk of sexual side effects and the convenience of a once-a-day pill.
Favorite book.
Can't disappoint her. Gotta get rid of this headache fast.
The moment of choice, Tylenol or Advil? Which will relieve that headache faster? Truth is, Advil Liquid Gels will. These advanced liquid-filled capsules work faster, stronger, better than Tylenol on tough headaches. Gentle on your stomach, too. For faster headache relief, advance to Advil Relief.
Baby Keenan was on his deathbed until doctors risked everything and made medical history. His unforgettable story of survival, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
What was said on this broadcast about terrorism last week by Richard Clark, the Bush administration's former counterterrorism chief, reverberated throughout Washington this week like thunder. On Capitol Hill, a parade of top officials from both the Bush and Clinton administrations testified publicly under oath before the commission investigating the attacks of 9/11. But Condoleezza Rice, the president's national security advisor, the person the commission wanted to hear from the most, refused to testify in public. The White House cited executive privilege. But while she didn't talk publicly to the commission, Dr. Condoleezza Rice did talk to us this morning in Washington. We met the national security advisor in the old executive office building next to the White House and asked about her refusal to testify. The Secretary of State, Defense, the Director of the CIA have all testified in public under oath before the commission. If you can talk to us and other news programs, why can't you talk to the commission in public and under oath?
Nothing would be better, from my point of view, than to be able to testify. I would really like to do that, but there's an important principle involved here. It is a long-standing principle that sitting national security advisors do not testify before the Congress.
But there's some people who look at this and say that this was an unprecedented event. Nothing like this ever happened to this country before. And this is an occasion where you can put that executive privilege aside. It's a big enough issue to talk in public.
It is an unprecedented event. We've said that many, many times. But this commission is rightly not concentrating on what happened on the day of September 11th. So this is not a matter of what happened on that day, as extraordinary as it was. This is a matter of policy. And we have yet to find an example of a national security advisor, sitting national security advisor, who has been willing to testify on matters of policy.
To call the hearing back to order.
The commission is investigating the circumstances surrounding the 9/11 attacks. The star witness was Richard Clark, the president's former counterterrorism chief, whose new book has become a bestseller. In it, Clark alleges that the Bush administration failed to take the threat from al-Qaeda seriously and that the 9/11 attacks were a pretext for the administration to go to war in Iraq. The administration's reaction was immediate and ferocious.
His assertion that there was something we could have done to prevent the September 11th attacks from happening is deeply irresponsible, it's offensive, and it's flat out false.
The attacks continued this morning on the Sunday talk shows.
There are inconsistencies and contradictions between what he is saying now and what he said then.
He also quotes me as on September 4th as saying some things in a meeting that I didn't attend.
What has the Bush administration most up in arms is the explosive allegation Richard Clark made in his book and to Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes last week that at a meeting on September 12th in the White House Situation Room, one day after the attacks, President Bush tried to intimidate Clark into finding a link between 9/11 and Iraq.
I said, Mr. President, we've done this before. We've been looking at this. We looked at it with an open mind. There's no connection. He came back at me and said, Iraq, Saddam, find out if there's a connection. And in a very intimidating way.
What's your reaction to Clark's description?
I have never seen the president say anything to people in an intimidating way to try to get a particular answer out of them. I know this president very well, and the president doesn't talk to his staff in an intimidating way to ask them to produce information that is false.
All week long, the White House said it had no recollection that the September 12th meeting ever took place, and that it had no record that President Bush was even in the Situation Room that day. But 2 days ago, they changed their story, saying the meeting did happen.
The president asked, I believe, though none of us recall the specific conversation, the president asked a perfectly logical question. We'd just been hit and hit hard. Did Iraq have anything to do with this? Were they complicit in it? This was a country with which we'd been to war a couple of times that was firing at our airplanes in the no-fly zone. It made perfectly good sense to ask about Iraq. But I will tell you, Ed, when we went to Camp David to plan our response to the al-Qaeda attack, it was a map of Afghanistan that was rolled out on the table. It was Afghanistan that became the focus of the American response. And Iraq was put aside with the exception of worrying about whether Iraq might try and take advantage of us in some way. The president focused our energies and our attention on winning in Afghanistan and expelling the Taliban and thereby expelling al-Qaeda.
But the appearance here, because there are other examples of countries with state-sponsored terrorism, Iran, Libya, Syria. He didn't ask him about that. He asked just about Iraq. The perception is, people listening to what Clark had to say, is that the president was preoccupied with Iraq.
Given our relationship with Iraq, which was probably the most actively hostile relationship in which we were involved, I think that it's a perfectly logical question. And when we look to retaliation, yes, we ask the question, given that this is a global war on terrorism, should we look at other threats?
Clark has alleged that the Bush administration underestimated the threat from al-Qaeda, didn't act as if terrorism was an imminent and urgent problem. Was it?
Of course, it was an urgent problem. I would like very much to know what more could have been done given that it was an urgent problem. We were looking for a more comprehensive plan to eliminate al-Qaeda, but we weren't sitting still while that plan was developing. We were continuing to pursue the policies that the Clinton administration had pursued.
But even the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Hugh Shelton, has said that the Bush administration pushed terrorism, and I'm quoting here, farther to the back burner.
I just don't agree. I don't know, Ed, how, after coming into office, inheriting policies that had been in place for at least 3 of the 8 years of the Clinton administration, we could have done more than to continue those policies while we developed more robust policies.
After 9/11, Bob Woodward wrote a book in which he had incredible access and interviewed the President of the United States. He quotes President Bush as saying that he didn't feel a sense of urgency about Osama bin Laden. Woodward wrote that bin Laden was not the president's focus or that of his national security team. You're saying that the administration says fighting terrorism and al-Qaeda has been a top priority since the beginning.
I'm saying that the administration took seriously the threat. Let's talk about what we did,
but no,
which
I understand.
Which demonstrates that we took this as a priority.
You've listed the things that you've done, but here is the perception. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at that time says you've pushed it to the back burner. The former Secretary of the Treasury says it was not a priority. Mr. Clark says it was not a priority. And at least according to Bob Woodward, who talked with the president, he is saying that for the president, it wasn't urgent. He didn't have a sense of urgency about al-Qaeda. That's the perception here.
Ed, I don't know what a sense of urgency any greater than the one that we had would have caused us to do differently.
We've had this war on terrorism concentrated since 9/11. But it's been reported that if you look at the 30 months since 9/11, there have been more attacks by al-Qaeda than in the 30 months prior to 9/11. So what effect does this taking out 2/3 of the leadership?
We are being attacked by them because they know that we're at war with them. And they're going to continue to attack until we defeat them.
Here's what I'm saying. You had a 30-month period leading up to 9/11 in which you had fewer attacks than the 30 months afterwards when you have this war against
And I think that's the wrong way to look at it, with all due respect. I think you have to look back to the 80s and most certainly the 90s, when what was happening was that the terrorist attacks were getting bolder, they were getting more imaginative, they were getting more daring. And that's because the terrorists were getting a sense of inevitability of their victory. We were not aggressively going after them. They believed that they were going to win. They saw us cut and run in Somalia. They go all the way back to the fact that the Marines left Beirut after the bombing of the barracks. They believed that if we took casualties, we would not respond. And what they've been surprised by is the fact that this has this time been a launching of an all-out war on them. And yes, they're going to continue to try to attack. They're going to succeed sometimes, but they are going to be defeated. And as the president said, you cannot fight this war on the defensive.
The decision to go to war with Iraq. Nearly 600 American soldiers have died. Thousands of Iraqi civilians have been killed. And given the fact that no weapons of mass destruction have been found, and there's no proof that Saddam Hussein was linked to 9/11 or al-Qaeda. The country is split about why we're even in Iraq and if we're fighting the right war.
The war on terrorism is a broad war, not a narrow war. And Iraq, one of the most dangerous regimes, I think the most dangerous regime in the world's most dangerous region in the Middle East, is a big reason, or was under Saddam Hussein, a big reason for instability in the region, for threats to the United States. He had used weapons of mass destruction. He had the intent and was still developing the capability to do so. Saddam Hussein's regime was very dangerous. And now that Iraq has been liberated and that Iraq has a chance to be a stable democracy, the world is a lot safer, and the war on terrorism is well served by the victory in Iraq.
Amidst all the testimony last week about the facts surrounding 9/11, Richard Clarke took a moment to apologize to the families of those who were killed in the attacks.
Your government failed you.
How did you feel when he made that apology?
Well, I don't think that there is anyone who is not sorry for the terrible loss that these families endured, and indeed who doesn't feel the deep tragedy that the country went through on September 11th. I do think it's important that we keep focused on who did this to us, because after all, this was an act of war that day.
But my question is, how did his apology make you feel? Did you think he was grandstanding? Did you think it was sincere?
I'm not going to question what Dick Clarke was or was not feeling. I think, from my point of view, the families need to know that everybody understands the deep loss. Everybody understands the deep tragedy that's happened here.
Will the families of those people who were killed hear an apology from you? Do you think that would be appropriate?
The families, I think, have heard from this president that, and from me personally in some cases, in that field in Pennsylvania or at the World Trade Center, how deeply sorry everyone is for the loss that they endured. You couldn't be human and not feel the horror of that day. We do need to stay focused on what happened to us that day. And the best thing that we can do for the memory of the victims, the best thing that we can do for the future of this country, is to focus on those who did this to us.
CBS Market Watch Update, sponsored by Cialis. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you.
Good evening. Record gas prices up another 3 cents to an average $1.77 a gallon for regular. OPEC meeting this week may not cut production after all. The squabbling Tyco jury will try again tomorrow to reach a verdict, and Disney parks are upping admission by more than 5%. I'm John Roberts, CBS News.
If a relaxing moment turns into the right moment, will you be ready? Introducing Cialis, the first tablet for erectile dysfunction that gives you up to 36 hours to choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. New Cialis goes to work fast and can work for up to 36 hours. Cialis is not for everyone. If you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, do not take Cialis. Such combinations could cause a sudden unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. The most common side effects were headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor to ensure Cialis is right for you and you are healthy enough for sexual activity. Ask your doctor if a free sample of prescription Cialis is right for you. 36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready?
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com.
Tuesday on DVD, Something's Gotta Give is something special. Jack Nicholson is hilarious, and Diane Keaton is a Golden Globe winner for Best Actress. Something's Gotta Give. Get it on VHS and DVD.
My own cholesterol has been a little on the high side.
Eat 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal per day, 30 days. Yeah. Quaker Oats help reduce my cholesterol. 29 points in 30 days.
I'm gonna do what he did. I'm gonna eat oatmeal. Cut!
Gene Shalit is mad.
It's like a bad movie.
The microwave melted his deli container.
And now my nachos are gone with the wind.
Gene, you should have used Gladware. Gladware's tough like Tupperware. It won't melt in the microwave, won't melt in the dishwasher. And only Gladware has patented lids that seal inside and outside.
Gladware's a hit.
Nachos?
And I get to keep the Gladware, right?
This is the best part. Don't get mad. Get Gladware.
Make more of your money work for you. Consider a Fidelity Freedom Fund targeted to your retirement year. For more information and to open a no-fee Roth IRA, call 800-544-0140 today.
It's become standard operating procedure for both political parties to try to block judicial nominations by a sitting president. Republican senators did it with 3 of Bill Clinton's nominees for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And now apparently it's payback time for the Democrats have been going after one of George W. Bush's nominees for a seat on that same federal appeals court that serves Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. The judge in question, Charles Pickering, is a white, conservative, anti-abortion Republican from Mississippi. And the NAACP says that Pickering's record, quote, clearly indicates hostility towards civil rights and equal justice for African Americans. When the Senate Democrats discovered that Judge Pickering had gone out of his way to reduce the sentence of a convicted cross-burner in Mississippi, they labeled him racially insensitive, and the label stuck, dooming his nomination. Democratic Senator Charles Schumer of New York told us that a judge who helps a cross-burner simply does not belong on the appeals court.
What does that say about someone's racial sensitivity, especially in the Fifth Circuit, Mississippi? Can't we do better?
Judge Pickering felt so strongly that he'd been smeared that he is not racially insensitive, that he agreed to speak to us on camera, which federal judges almost never do.
To accuse a white Southerner of being a racist is about the worst thing you can do. And this has been my life work. I have worked for more than 3 decades trying to provide better relations between the races, trying to protect equal rights. That's my core being, and they've attacked that.
It cuts to his core, Pickering told us, because for 40 years, he says, he's worked hard to remove racial barriers in Mississippi. You grew up in the South.
Yes.
Here in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Segregation was a way of life.
We lived in a segregated society in the 1950s and the 1960s.
And how did you begin to evolve from the background into which you were born?
Well, I was elected county attorney in 1963 at the age of 26. And when I began to see the violence and the hatred that comes from unrestrained racial prejudice, I saw the violence of the Klan. I had 3 choices. I could either do as most Mississippians did and simply remain silent. I could become a Klan sympathizer, or I could challenge the Klan and take the Klan on. And I came to the conclusion that the right thing to do was to challenge the Klan, and I did that.
In the 60s?
In the 1960s.
How do you challenge the Klan?
Well, I worked with the FBI to stop Klan violence.
Pickering told us that he and the FBI exchanged information about Klan shootings and bombings. Back in 1966, after civil rights activist Vernon Dahmer was killed by a firebomb, and notorious Klan leader Sam Bowers was charged with a murder, Pickering, then prosecutor in a nearby county, testified against Bowers.
Sam Bowers was described as the most vicious Klansman ever to don a white robe.
And after you testified against Bowers, you needed FBI protection?
The FBI came to me and told me that I needed to watch when I stepped out of my office at night, that the Klan was threatening to whip me. I did have an undercover agent who was working with the Klan that used to come by my home after he had been to Klan meetings to make sure that some of the crazies, after they'd been worked into a frenzy with a burning cross and under their white sheets, that they were not there to burn our house. We were careful and tried to use older babysitters. We tried not to leave our children with teenage babysitters during this period of time.
In Pickering's next election for the state legislature, the Klan took credit for defeating him. It took 4 decades to finally convict Bowers, who was now serving life in prison for murder. Back in the 70s, when public schools were forced to integrate, many white parents took their children out of the public schools and put them in private schools for whites only, but not the Pickerings.
We sent our children to the integrated schools, even though there was a good private school less than a block from our home. We supported integrated public education and did so with our children. We have a picture of our middle daughter. She's in with her class, which is predominantly black.
And there's more.
When I was chairman of the Mississippi Republican Party in 1976, I sought invitations and accepted invitations to speak to the state NAACP, but I do not think we need to be polarized along race. In 1981, I accepted employment in a case to defend a young black man who was charged with robbing a young white girl at knife point, and it was not a popular case for me to take on, but I thought he was innocent and that he needed a defense. I didn't think he would have gotten a good attorney otherwise. He was acquitted.
Nonetheless, Senate Democrats who questioned Pickering in committee portrayed him as soft on cross-burners after they learned he'd gone to great lengths to cut back the sentence of a young white man convicted of cross-burning. Senator Charles Schumer of New York was especially critical.
The bottom line is, if Judge Pickering were so sensitive to the long and sad racial history in Mississippi, he would never have done what he did with the case of cross-burning.
Here's what the senator's talking about. 10 years ago, 3 young white men were arrested for burning a cross on the lawn of an interracial couple. 2 of the 3 defendants pled guilty to avoid going to jail. Prosecutors initially thought, wrongly, that the 3rd defendant, Daniel Swan, had been the ringleader, so they offered him the worst plea deal, which would have required 18 months in prison. He turned it down, and he went to trial.
He didn't feel like it was right for the others not to have any jail time and for him to go to the penitentiary, and the jury convicted him.
Of a hate?
Of a hate crime, yes. And then the government came back and recommended 7.5 years sentence, which I thought was a bad case of disproportionate sentencing, no proportionality.
In other words, the other 2 guys, the young people, got no jail time.
That's correct.
And he, the 3rd, got 7.5 years.
They were arguing for 7.5 years.
Pickering said this was the worst case of disproportionate sentencing he'd ever seen, especially since the real ringleader, who didn't go to prison, had attacked the same house before.
He had shot into this same home. He not only had shot into this same home, but he also had fought with African Americans at school and been suspended. Swan had none of this background.
So Judge Pickering, instead of following federal sentencing guidelines of 5 years in prison, put strong pressure on prosecutors to drop part of Swan's hate crime conviction. The prosecutors finally gave in, and the judge sentenced Swan to 2.5 years in prison.
And when I came to sentence him, I told him that what he did was a heinous, reprehensible, despicable, dastardly act, and that he was going to the penitentiary for it. There wasn't any question about that, and that we had to learn to live to get along with one another. And if anyone will read the transcript of where I sentenced him, there's no way that an objective person will come with any view that I was soft on a cross-burner or that I had sympathy for a cross-burner.
We didn't mandate that a judge call someone who does this names. We mandated 5 years in jail.
The fact that he felt that Swan was not as culpable as the others?
The jury felt he committed this crime. The Congress said this crime demands 5 years, and Judge Pickering took it on himself. The one time he had a crusade to help a man who burnt a cross.
One of the victims of the cross burning, Brenda Polkey, wrote to Senator Leahy, quote, "My family suffered horribly as a result of the cross burning. I'm astonished the judge would have gone to such lengths to thwart the judgment of the jury and to reduce the sentence of a person who